Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of 13 Cards Subject to Change. We are live from Leroy's kitchen, minus Leroy currently. Jesse's over there running the mic today.
Yes, I am.
So Leroy was on a camping trip with his lovely two children.
Beautiful babies.
He will actually. They're only about 45 minutes away. So at the time we're recording, he might just pop in the middle of this.
So at some point you might actually hear Leroy kind of take back over.
So right now it's just me and Jesse. We have all the equipment working as we hope and think. Hopefully we won't have to start 45 minutes late and do this all over again. But anyway, last week there was no show. Leroy and I were incredibly busy.
Listen, that looked like, because they put it up on YouTube, that looked like a pretty dang fun show.
Fun show. There was an issue getting people there, but Bobsville is like this sort of outdoor entertainment thing.
Yeah.
That's like in the middle of a cornfield. So attendance was a bit rough, but hey, MAW guys put on a great show. Funny Bone.
Oh, of course.
Funny Bone had a great performance.
That's awesome.
Leroy and I got there a little late because it was hard to find the place, and it was really so they sent us the address.
Yeah.
Google Maps took us to the airport, which was on the other side of Eau Claire. But we finally found the place. Finally out there.
Yeah.
Everyone put on a really great show. Hats off to Dave and all the guys for all the work they put into it.
Yeah, they do a great
sadly, job. Like I said, Bobsville said they sold over 300 tickets.
Wow.
There was not a lot of people there. I think it ended up being less than like 30-some people. But, once in a while you have to go through those shows. It was just a really rough day. But great show. Everybody did an awesome job. Leroy and I got put to work a lot more than we thought. So it turns out the opening match started a fight that we had to break up physically ourselves.
Oh, wow.
And that fight actually continued throughout the show. They would just randomly pop up in spots. Rhino and Joey Jet Avalon had a really good match.
Nice.
A little short, but I mean, timing was timing.
Yeah.
We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to see everybody. A lot of fun to get out and see more of those shows. Like I said, if there's a local wrestling show near you, please go see it. We honestly can't.
Always support your local wrestling. That's where they all come from,
Yep. But anyway, a lot has happened in the time we've been gone.
Oh my goodness.
It is time to start with last night, the end of slamaversary.
Oh boy.
And we're gonna start with the end because, ladies and gentlemen, the King Switch has arrived in Impact.
Listen, everyone.
And sadly, it was seen by 42 people.
Yeah, well, and then there's probably maybe that at the show itself, which it was still nice for Impact to have fans there, especially live like that.
So Jesse, this is kind of where we get, today we're kind of going to get in your wheelhouse a lot.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So first and foremost, your thoughts on King Switch appear, and he had the belt with him.
Listen, so for those who don't know, he is the never openweight champion over in New Japan Pro.
Yes.
By the way, a very important title. I would probably say it's a tie between that and the U.S. Championship now that they don't have the Intercontinental Championship anymore.
Yeah.
The never openweight, I think they kind of treat as their local Intercontinental Championship. It's a very important title.
It's one of those belts that, see, New Japan's always been good about working with other companies over there in Japan. Very important title, won by a lot of great, Japanese
Japanese and even, gaijin as they call us. Wrestlers. I mean the names. Some of the gaijin names you'll find that have held that championship is incredible.
If he's not going to hold the world title right now, that's not a bad title to have.
And I mean, listen, King Switch is still a contender at any point in time to be IWGP Heavyweight Champion again. Well,
and see, it's really interesting because, ladies and gentlemen, Slammiversary, the Good Brothers have the belts back. It was Thunder Rosa has appeared now. What a year Thunder Rosa has had in just exposure alone.
So she's
been everywhere.
She has been one of the most underrated women the last 2 years, and it's been really nice to see her get that exposure.
Who don't remember, she was the Cobra lady in Lucha Underground.
Yes, she was. And by the way,
Cobra Moon. I should say.
And someone at the time that they wanted to put their title on, but didn't.
Yeah.
Lucha Underground is kind of coming back. They're still kind of working out some of the kinks and signing the wrestlers.
Is working.
Yeah.
In MLW. Mil
Muertes, yeah.
Yep. He's been announced. Is Selena with him?
So Selena signed with WWE.
Right, yeah. Oh, okay,
she signed an exclusive NXT contract. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with her in the coming months.
The ratings came in this week. SmackDown Back with Fans was 2.1.
Not a shock.
Raw was 1.6, which was up. No fans, but it was the last Raw without fans.
Yeah.
NXT had over 700,000. That was a raise. Fyter Fest had a little bit over, but we'll get to that in a little bit here. So Slamaversary, sadly, what I hate about this, the only problem I have with this main event is neither guy is an Impact heavyweight division guy.
No. And so
anyway, before this actually goes into an old topic we used to have on the show, was the AEW Impact partnership.
Yeah.
So now Impact is partnering with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Minus WWE.
Oh yeah.
But Jesse, what are they getting out of this?
So here's
Thunder Rosa comes in for NWA.
Yeah.
Tiana Purrazzo is the only one who's really benefiting from this. Their heavyweight division's been gutted, and their tag team titles are back on the Good Brothers, which let's be honest, they're going to be on AEW every week, brandishing those belts. But how often are they going to be on Impact?
So here's the thing. Here's my biggest issue right now as far as Impact's concerned. Because one, right now, Impact, I do think Impact, presently constructed, is going to garner more respect from New Japan now. Oh, absolutely.
Than Dixie did, because Dixie took the Golden Boy Okada and just made him look like an absolute.
I mean, she basically turned him into, for people who don't remember, it's not Green Lantern, but it's like Green Hornet.
Yeah.
And he kind of had a Japanese sidekick called Kato.
Yes.
And basically, that's what she turned Okada, the Rainmaker, into.
Sonata had a halfway decent run in the X division, and then was just made to look like
a fool,
a
clown.
fool, basically. Which is interesting because what Jim Cornette always talks about is that it's hard to forget what guys did for 6 months.
Yeah.
When I see him in New Japan, it takes a second. And he's such a great performer, he'll obviously work past that.
Absolutely.
But it takes a second to forget that this was a guy who was clean-shaven, babyface looking over there in TNA, and he was kind of a meh at the time.
Yeah. And I mean,
he's come into his own, obviously.
I mean,
he was very young when he went over to
I was about to say, he's clearly become an incredibly great technical wrestler, great storyteller.
Oh, yeah.
But my whole thing for Impact, and the good thing for Impact, is right now, Scott D'Amore originally took on this AEW thing as a way to reopen the doors that had been closed off because of who used to run the show, Dixie Carter, Hulk Hogan, and all that back in the day. And so Scott D'Amore and these guys have been trying to, and Tommy Dreamer have been putting out a great product the last 4 years. But, of course, they're not seen on a lot of channels anymore.
No.
Getting on Twitch TV for them was absolutely huge.
Well, let's just run through this, super quick. First of all, Decay, Havoc, and Rosemary.
Yeah.
With Black Tauros and Crazy Steve, they defeated Fire and Flava.
Yes, they did.
So they're the new Knockouts champions. Josh Alexander, who might be one of the best in the world, just literally won the X Division title.
Well, there's an interesting story about him because... he did an interview recently, and he said, when they originally were going to put me in the X Division, at first it was kind of destroying his life because at first he really wanted to be part-time wrestler, part-time, I think he's a firefighter.
Yeah.
And so he was feeling a little conflicted because he really wanted to keep firefighting and all that.
It's a hard profession to give up.
It really is.
You really gotta love it to want to do it.
And Impact did a lot of, besides the pay-per-views, they did a lot of tapings up to what would be their pay-per-views.
Right, yeah.
And so that made it easier for them to put it out on Twitch and for the wrestlers to interact with their fans live on Twitch and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But he said recently what's been nice is he went and had a meeting with Tommy and Scott D'Amore, and he talked to them about a lot of this stuff, or a couple months ago or whatever. And, I actually thought he was going to lose the championship.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming, based off of what Josh said, is that he's going to still be able to work a schedule he likes while doing the work for Impact.
Well, I think what we're learning now, because WWE only has about 25 dates on this current tour.
They had to cancel a couple already,
yeah.
too.
Well, COVID's a problem everywhere in the world right now. Arkansas is about to be, and sorry for any fans out there, but Arkansas is about to become a cesspool down there. I'm sorry. It's just that's a fact. I don't care what anyone says.
It's bad down there.
But no, Josh won. Josh is great. Love him. But no, I think that people are going to start to learn that you're going to have to create a part-time wrestling world now because these people make enough money where they don't need to do it the way the old-timers used to have to do it.
Where you have to grind like that,
and I think it's going to become a very part-time thing for people, which I think is hard to hear, but at the same time, I mean, the world is changing.
Yeah.
People want $15 an hour for minimum wage. I have my own personal feelings about that, but that just goes into the way society's going. Is that people are looking for more out of basic things these days. Yeah. And so wrestling may not.
Well, to be fair, cost of living is insanely high.
Well, yeah,
in some spots.
They need to cap that. But no, Decay won. Josh won.
Absolutely.
Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green.
Listen, to see those two now as a unit on a wrestling company.
She just can't get healthy. That's her only problem. She's another.
So they cleared her enough to do the match last night.
Right, obviously.
But
Tennille's a great worker. I mean,
just the fact that you got there and then somehow you hurt your wrist in training, like the same one you've been having issues with.
Well, but Bailey also remember. By the way, Bailey, big ups to her. Kept all her heat. She's been.
Cutting heel promos on social media on the fans.
Love it. Bailey, you can tell Bailey's a fan because she knew she had to stay herself.
Yeah.
And by the way, for all those of those out you who are pissed that The Miz was in that celebrity softball game, it was a partial tear in the ACL, not a complete tear in the ACL. So he's got limited movement on it. So
yes, he does.
So actually, that's not something that bothers me as much as I think people really are bothered by it.
And see, here's the difference between the way AEW will allow their wrestlers to go work for other companies without understanding what the other company is going to do with them.
At least,
and then what WWE allows these guys to do as kind of celebrities and stuff like that.
Well,
is that they understand, okay, well, Miz is limited. They had him basically DH, so he's not really running around much.
Well, that was the thing. Was that here's the deal, folks. Kurt Angle proved it one time. You can stand and walk on a torn ACL.
Well, yeah.
You're just not going to be able to cut or do a bunch of stuff.
No.
But anyway, no, big ups. Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green defeated
Absolutely.
Brian. By the way, great storytelling there. The fact that Matt used to date Tennille.
Yeah, so people don't know when she was Emma back in WWE years ago. Was that they dated for 7 months before he actually met Chelsea. Chelsea.
Yeah.
So really cool storytelling from Impact on that side.
Yeah.
Really cool to see them together.
Everybody obviously, there's no hard feelings in there. Obviously, obviously Brian and Matt are thick as thieves.
They're great friends.
They've been friends for years. Finn Juice dropped the. Finn Juice won their tag team match.
Yes, they did.
Chris Sabin defeated Moose. By the way,
what was a banger of a match?
That was a fantastic.
It was
match.
a banger of a match.
No way.
Man,
no
listen,
way has entered Impact.
I know some guys in Philly who are very happy right now.
Yeah. One, really.
Well, maybe. Well, two. I would say two because the second one's going to troll that first guy. Man, when I got the chance to catch the end of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And this was near the end of the pay-per-view, and I gotta be honest. I was incredibly shocked.
Oh yeah.
So
he hadn't done anything since he got cut.
Well, and then my thought was maybe he's a guy who's just done with professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't heard anything from him. I mean, he had put out some weird photos where I don't know if he was trying to be a Prince hybrid. I don't know what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, maybe he's just not, a guy who's, maybe WWE is like, okay, I didn't do it here, so I'm not going to try to do it anymore. So the fact that, he comes out with Follow Bala and then he comes out with the crew of dancers or whatever, the line.
Yeah.
I was actually pleasantly surprised. It was a nice surprise.
Yeah. Honestly, him and the Adam Rose thing, I think the problem that they both had at the time was just there wasn't a lot of time to let things develop. And now with a smaller roster, I think WWE has room on their television show to let things develop.
Yeah. Because
surprisingly, Raw's been watchable.
Well, I say Raw's actually not been too bad. And see, that was the problem with the whole hoarding of talent. I get people's frustration with Vince when it came to that.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you got all this talent. you clearly can't use it everywhere.
Well, the problem is also is I think Vince doesn't have as much TV time as he used to.
No.
I know that sounds weird, but remember, Main Event used to be on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And that was on for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on live television.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still had Raw and SmackDown running their 4 to 5
Yeah.
hours a night. So anyway, Good Brothers won the tag team titles. Again, Deonna Purrazzo. Again, I'm not going to apologize for what I said early on because what I said was what I said wasn't wrong.
No.
I never questioned if she could go. I questioned where was the hype for someone who literally had done nothing up until this point.
You know, because I was blessed to get to see her in Chicago.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the promotion. Forgive me. But I was blessed to see her before she signed with NXT in Chicago. This is when I was music elitist / wrestling indie elitist.
Yes,
back in 2010, and so I had seen her potential back then.
Okay.
And so when she was originally brought to NXT, I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
This is the perfect person for Triple H to work with. Like I said, I always thought, they have to develop her character more and things of that nature. But in the ring, she's very good. I always thought she was very good.
Yeah. And again, I hate to say it, she was clearly good enough.
But I will say this. It goes back to when and Stone Cold did it as a joke against Lance Storm.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it did hurt his career some.
Yeah.
Was what she actually was. Lance Storm was not, people, but what she kind of was as a character was boring.
Yeah.
Like, she really had no personality. She was just an excellent wrestler.
Yeah.
And now in Impact, it seems like she's found what she can do very well.
No. She's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But like I said, she's the only one I think that has benefited from this partnership with anyone because she's faced great people. The match with Thunder Rosa was only about 10 minutes, but my God. You give Thunder Rosa 10 minutes, what can't she do in 10 minutes?
She's one of the best.
And then, of course, we get to the end. I think, first of all...
Well, and then before that was Morrissey. First off, great match, but...
Oh, yeah.
Man, they are building this dude as a monster.
Well, but here's the thing people have to realize. If he hadn't have been in his own head...
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the depression was his fault.
No.
I'm just saying if circumstances mentally had been better, maybe he wouldn't have made the mistakes he did backstage.
True.
Maybe he wouldn't have done the things that he did, said the things that he said, and he might still be there as a big man who had an opportunity. His biggest problem was, and again, I don't care what anyone wants to say about the indie guys. It doesn't matter who you work for. You listen to the promoter unless you have some clout.
True.
I don't care who you are. And but for me, this main event, I gotta. First of all, the pizza cutter thing. Do me a favor. Why is everyone except for WWE trying to capitalize on Dark Side of the Ring, but poorly? All you took from the Nick Gage episode was that he just cut Jon Moxley with a pizza cutter? That's all you took from that? Why? Okay. Why is
because everything to guys like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are fucking meme. So we'll get into AEW because
do we have to?
Because they ruined what I thought was a really great promo with them, Dark Order and Hangman, because they're parts in the middle. I'm like, so everything to you guys is a fucking meme apparently.
We'll get to that. Yeah. No,
I
know exactly what you're talking about. We'll get to that in a second.
So you. By the way, if you haven't watched it. If your stomach can do it, watch the Nick Gage story, because Nick Gage is actually a good guy. But he's had to come a long way to get to where he is now.
Yeah. It takes a lot to. I mean, because of my ECW love, I have a hard time. And again, I love me some CZW stuff, but the whole thing, it's a lot to stomach.
It can be.
It can be a lot.
It can be like, especially ZZW's like harder moments. It can be hard to watch.
Yeah. But no. So anyway, Kenny beating Sammy, great. Kenny just crosses another person off the list. Whatever. But then the King appears.
Yeah.
Your king, sir.
Oh, my king.
And
while I still cannot acknowledge Roman Reigns all the time, I will always acknowledge King Switchblade.
I love that he was himself. I love that he
didn't too sweet
them.
No.
They're going to create Inter-Bullet Club war. I don't know what they're going to do, but that's kind of what they're teasing.
I think basically it's going to be a war between the Elite and Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And Bullet Club's going to win.
because again, you and I don't remember if we did it when the mic was on or if we did it when it was off. New Japan's not going to make this risk again.
No.
Now, King Switch is not Okada. That's clear.
Yeah.
But he's still the king.
Listen, he's still
King Switch.
He's very protected by them.
Oh, incredible.
Like, don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
He's one of their most important gaijins right now.
Yes.
Like, they need him.
Yes. No, 100%. Bullet Club over the years has shot them into a stratosphere worldwide that they were not ever used to.
And to me, King Switchblade is the best leader since AJ.
Yes. No, 100%. But no, what bothers me is just Kenny wins. He's not going to be on Impact again. And if he is, he's going to be cutting a bad promo with Tony Schiavone and Tony Khan. Tony Squared is going to put on a bad commercial again.
I guess there's a reason he doesn't like to be on TV. Like, that guy cannot cut a promo
he's
for
just not good at it.
Shit. Oh, my God.
He's not good at it. But anyway,
you're learning. Vince learned that there is an art to it to
yes.
be the boss that's on television.
I'll say this. Enjoyed the pay-per-view a lot.
It was good.
Great action.
It was very good.
I will give them an asterisk next to the Kenny situation only because if you screw up with King Switch, it ain't his fault.
So here's my thing. There's almost no way they can screw up with King Switchblade because that guy's too great of a wrestler and storyteller.
Well, the question
and New Japan is still very on Kenny. So
and the biggest question to me is going to be: is King Switch going to be willing to say no if something comes up that's just outright outlandishly?
I would think yes.
And we'll get to that in a second. But to move on, actually, you know what? When I say a second, we'll do it right now. So Lana, I don't know. We talked about she kind of spilled the tea.
Do we mean anal?
Yes.
Okay.
So CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana, backwards anal.
Yeah.
She spilled the tea.
Yeah.
Here's a little more on spilling the tea. Nothing she said should have made news.
Nothing she said did make news.
No. It's just, folks, first of all,
nothing she
the
said
show
made
gets
news.
rewritten 6 times.
Clearly. We watched the fucking thing. We know.
Did anybody know that Paul Heyman was probably rewriting ECW live shows in the middle of the damn match?
Here was the thing about that one, is everyone went, well, yeah, if you watch Raw, you can clearly fucking tell this had to be rewritten 3 times. So, even before they started to air at 8 p.m. Eastern, this was rewritten like 3 times.
It wasn't. Nothing shocked me about it.
Nothing.
The whole situation, but no, again, you and I both said, if it's not Vince having a Grizzly Smith situation, none of what you're going to say is news. And none of it was news.
No.
One of the only other things that I remember was Nia Jax got angry because Roman Reigns nixed the table spot at Survivor Series. Good! Not because I didn't like seeing Lana driving through a table.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. That Lana spot was better than what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Because it was actually good live.
Yeah.
But the world champion needs to stand up and say, you're not going to do my shit before me.
Yeah.
That's not how this works. It's much like the whole live fan thing was I thought SmackDown outside of the entrances was a little dead after the 6-man, but that's what needed to be the first match in front of fans.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for COVID, that's your main event.
Yeah.
SmackDown, despite being great, was backwards.
Yeah.
But it should have been because of the world situation we were in.
Yeah.
But anyway. No, Nia Jax can sit there bitch and moan all she wants. Sweetie, you're in the family, that's fine. But you ain't Roman Reigns.
If your name ain't Roman or Dwayne, you got nothing to say.
Ain't
nobody trying to hear you.
Alpha and Sega at this point have more pull than Nia Jax does. but no.
Yeah, well, so when she brought up the whole, Roman nixed it, it's like, well, yeah, he's the champ. He
is, quote, no offense to Bobby, he is the champ.
Yeah, like
in the WWE. He took a title that we all thought was going to be a secondary thing, he's made that legit.
So that, which is why they say the man or the champion actually makes a championship.
Yes.
But here's the thing.
I want to say belt because they're belts. We should call them a belt.
That's basically what the fuck they are. But
yes.
So here's my thing. It just be happy you were even on the pay-per-view, and that like Roman didn't say like why should Vince even have this match on the pay-per-view? Maybe you guys should have this on Raw, because really it was. I mean, and the story was fine. Them bullying her, putting her through the table all the time.
Yeah.
I got it. That was their way of trying to build Lana as a babyface. No problem. Whatever. It's a weird way to do it. No problem.
But anyway, okay, so moving right, but no, CJ Perry also said wherever she goes next, she wants a no-cut clause.
Doesn't happen.
I want to be very clear. The Mount Rushmore of wrestling, whoever you think is on it, they're not getting that. Because wrestling promoters are not going to sign. And by the way, where else is she going to go? Who the hell is asking for CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana? Buddy Murphy can get a match against Brian Cage because Buddy Murphy's actually a talent.
Well, Buddy Murphy's fucking great.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is this. I think it's Matt Adams is what he's going by. So yeah. So it's his real name, basically.
Yeah.
But it's just no one is breaking down the door to sign you.
The only people that are going to sign her is AEW because her husband's there.
Well, yeah, because we've proven that, you know what? He's a beast and a monster when he doesn't talk. When he talks, it's just painful.
Well, and like I tell people, it's not that the fact that English isn't his first language.
No.
Because I think Io cuts amazing promos.
Yes.
I think Asuka cuts amazing promos. He babbles.
He does.
Like, he babbles.
He does not go to that microphone and he's not confident in what he says.
No.
He's not.
No, not at all. And here's the thing. First off, her thinking that she's worth a no-cut clause is fucking ridiculous.
Anyone thinking they're worth a no-cut clause is ridiculous.
Stone Cold could have been cut at any time.
Yes.
The Rock had been cut twice by WWE before succeeding.
Yes.
Like, Roman Reigns almost got cut. John Cena almost got cut.
Yeah.
Like, anybody can get it. You know what you do if you know you might get cut? You do what they did, or even what Chyna did and Trish did.
Yeah.
You raise your game.
Yeah.
You get better.
Yeah.
Work your ass off.
Or you go to The Rock and say, give me a microphone, and you sink or swim. And if you sink, no one's going to give a damn because your promo probably sucked.
Now, here's the thing. I actually think she's a good promo.
Yes.
She's just not great in the ring, but I think she's a great promo.
She was improving in the ring, but certainly not at a level that I would know.
No. So, like, I always thought the biggest thing that they did wrong was because Vince doesn't really like managers that aren't named Paul Heyman apparently anymore.
Well, but to be fair, no one is stepping up in a managerial role. Bivens is doing his
quite
job.
good, yeah.
Bivens is making me happy.
Bivens is quite good. Because managers still work in wrestling, and I know, because of, like I tell fans all the time, the culture of it is a part of wrestling's problem, by the way.
Yes.
But there is still a need for managers. Some people will just not ever be great speakers.
The other problem that I have is that even though Jim Cornette and Brian Last never saw her doing it, Vicky Guerrero is a good manager.
She's an excellent manager.
The problem is that she doesn't need to be with Andrade right now. I don't think that's the best thing for him.
So they've mostly, because I still watch AEW every week, and Fyter Fest was actually really good, and we'll get to it.
We're going to get into that after we get done with this crap.
But here... So they've actually moved her away from him for now.
A little bit, yeah.
They got this. I've seen the guy somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yeah.
And they're actually letting Andrade talk because once again, English not his first language, but can still cut a very good promo.
Yes.
So yeah. They have started to move her away from him.
Yes.
So that's already because he really didn't need a manager.
No.
I think they did that thinking like. Maybe I don't know. I mean, their fans might be idiotic, but
you think?
Thinking like, if we have him next to Vicky, everyone will know who he is. Everyone already knows who the hell he is.
The problem is that, and I've come to figure this out, and we'll discuss it once we get to the Fyter Fest. They overthink in AEW That's why there's so much afterbirth. That's why there's so much placenta, is they overthink everything. Everyone always thinks they don't think. I've admitted on the show, the Bucks know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to be a parody of wrestling. They're not trying to give you a wrestling show. But anyway.
You know what? Let's just get into that.
Yeah, Fyter Fest Night 1. I've got the results right here.
All right.
Jon Moxley and Carl Anderson. Hey, folks. When it's a New Japan version of things, Jon Moxley puts on a show.
It's going to be a banger.
because even though Jon Moxley wants to do deathmatch, he can wrestle.
He actually is a great wrestler.
That's why CZW gave him up to WWE, because WWE said, we can use you.
Yeah.
There was something to do here.
He's a main event caliber wrestler.
And,
That's
of
why
course,
they
when
had
you
him.
have Machine Gun in there, you know it's going to be called.
Listen, even though he's getting older, the guy can still put on a banger of a match.
Fantastic. Now, this next match is the first moment I'm going to have to refer to my colleague here, Jesse.
Okay.
The FTW World Title.
Okay.
When it was originally created, it was one of the
97, I think.
Yes, it was one of the most brilliant decisions I've ever seen in wrestling. Yeah. It was so good. I loved every second of going back and watching the way that Taz carried himself with that. But it's not even a recognized title in AEW.
No.
It's not.
No.
Don't give me this crap that it is.
No.
They're now, here's the deal. They're not even acknowledging the $1 Million Championship, but there's a story behind the $1 Million title that works on WWE television.
It's a legacy.
Yes. The problem is there's no legacy to the FTW World title.
Not really.
Because A, Taz got it for a reason, because he was the uncrowned ECW World Heavyweight Champion.
Very true.
But then they handed it to Brian Cage, which was only the second incarnation of it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense. And to have a match for a belt that doesn't make any sense.
So.
And to give it to Ricky Starks, who still hurts.
Cleared. So
cleared by their staff or cleared by a real doctor?
From what I've heard, completely cleared.
Okay.
Apparently he could have came back the week before. They decided to push it another week. So to be fair to them.
Yeah. And as much as you don't like him overall, what does this do to Brian Cage? This makes Brian Cage look like an absolute twat.
Funny enough, I've actually changed on Brian Cage recently.
You have.
I actually have changed on Brian Cage. So maybe if we get him on the show, the interview actually will be a little bit funner.
Yeah.
I still have some questions about some other stuff, but he seems like a very honest man. I can actually defend this one. Now, if you have an issue with anything else on the show, like those idiots in the Elite later, we're both going to trash them. This, I feel like I can defend. So,
all right, go ahead.
So Taz bringing in that title, that's Taz's title. So
100%.
So him bringing that in to what was supposed to be the leader of his group, I actually have no problems with.
Okay.
The biggest problem I had was the fact that they basically dropped the story of Taz fighting. I want this recognized.
What bothers me also is that they brought it in before he had lost to Moxley. If he was already going to lose to Moxley, then give him the FTW championship.
It was a little backwards. But at that point, they were still building Team Taz.
Yeah.
Now, the stuff between Team Taz, Ricky, Hook, Hobbs, who I love. I'm starting to love that kid. They're lucky they have him.
I think I said this 2 weeks ago, but go back and watch his match against Hangman. He gets it. This guy, he
26 years old.
He gets what he's supposed to do.
Listen, man.
He's got the shoulder, and seriously, this matters. He's got the whole thing where you kind of just twist the shoulder that says, "I'm a strong man, you're not." He gets this.
Yeah.
He understands what's required of him.
By the way, working with Taz helps.
Oh, yeah.
Taz understands the business.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes when things are happening in AEW, I'm like, I don't get it. You got all these guys here.
Also, Taz in ECW could be a top 10 heel all time.
Oh, of course.
He was so good.
He was such a bastard. But yeah, so the story to me has worked.
Okay.
And then, of course, Ricky got injured.
Yeah.
So they had to kind of do it in different ways. No problem.
Yeah.
Because they were still trying to do the story while Ricky really couldn't take any bumps or anything.
Yeah, okay, fair.
So them now having this match once Ricky was cleared, basically a week after Ricky was completely cleared, no problem. For a title that they don't even recognize, no problem, because AEW does a lot of shit that doesn't make sense. People talk about WWE does shit that's like, it's repetitive. I'm like, yeah, but technically, while it gets annoying that it's repetitive, it does make sense.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So no problem with that. The match itself, banger, which I was expecting it to be. So when after Mox and then they put this one up saying it was next, I was like, good way to start your show. Good way, especially with full fans.
And it's time to go downhill, and I can't believe that the two guys we're about to talk about are the reason it went downhill. But first of all, this match, and I'll just say it right now, spoiler alert for later in the show, this match went on before Penelope Ford. That's the first thing we're going to mention. But Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy. This is like I think it was said this is like the third ever televised match between these two. This was in the first hour.
Yeah.
This was in the first 20 minutes. Well, yeah, okay. So
first half an hour.
Yeah, first half hour. Come on, guys. This might have been the only wrestling match we had because they actually know how to work with each other.
Yeah.
They've worked with each other for years. They have a story dating back.
And then they've done dark matches or matches in WWE.
Christian was on Edge's side. Matt's still mad about that, even though we know in real life they're not.
Yeah.
They both went on to better things.
Yes.
But I can't say anything about it because what's there to say?
You almost want to put it. You change the name of the Mox Box rule.
It's the Elstein rule.
It's the Elstein rule now. So it's. Of course, these two are going to have a good match.
Yeah,
of course, they're going to be able to tell a story. The only problem I had with this, there's too many factions in AEW.
Yep.
It's too much.
At least Christian Cage has been smart enough not to join one.
So he's
so far.
He works with Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, who was right? I said all he's going to do is fucking lose to Kenny Omega and go right back to the tag division. Who was right? I told people they're built a star.
But hold on, since we have 2 weeks to catch up on, he was in the ring accepting a trophy for the first person to reach 50 wins in AEW. Because that meant something, apparently. And sadly, he sat there accepting the award like a child who was getting yelled at. He didn't know what the hell to do.
You know what? He's got Anna Jay now. I don't think he cares.
You can still go to WWE, make more money, learn how to do facial expressions, and have Anna Jay at home.
Listen, he does.
They're in the same state.
True. He does need to work on his promos.
Yeah. He needs to have some semblance of
He's 20. He's 22, 23. So you know what?
Yeah, no.
That'll come with time. But there's too many factions in this company. So now
coming from the guy who likes New Japan.
Yeah. But they use this right. They do this right.
They do.
Like
very much so.
Like it's always some sort of running, or as you guys call it, the afterbirth. It's always something. Like, can these two not just have a good match? Christian wins, and we're done with it.
Go home. Just walk out of the ring.
Matt doesn't have to shake his hand.
You're on television. Go to commercial.
By the way, it's not like you guys do like spacing between shit well anyway, because something will happen and then they'll just cut to something else, or they'll just cut straight to commercial. Because after this, I believe, was the so-called Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes segment.
Which, by the way, folks, for those of you who don't know, the day of, Tommy End put out a promo that basically stated for the last few years, and he didn't say Aleister Black, he just said Black.
Yeah.
Now, this was ruined on a number of levels. Once again, the two guys who put on one of the greatest NXT championship matches of all time have both been destroyed by AEW themselves.
They've definitely been botched.
Yes. Now, first of all, Aleister Black is now Malachi Black. Now, this isn't now.
He chose that, no problem.
This is also something that he's done on the indies before.
Yes.
And I'll explain why that's a problem in a second. Number one, sold the eye, great. Love it. You know, long-term storytelling.
He's doing long-term storytelling.
Yes. But here's the deal. Okay? None of you can sit there and say Jesse was wrong. Oh, he won't be back in WWE for a while. Look, folks. Look, the contract wasn't mishandled. They just never changed the wording. That's all it was, because they brought him up so quick, and he just had a run up there.
Yeah.
They just kept going with it. Also, if you idiots were paying attention, he said on Twitch numerous times, not just once, but twice, 3 times, not 4, not 5, not 6. Anyway,
they only got 2, by the way.
He said multiple times.
Yeah.
Vince had plans.
Yeah.
Shit just went awry because of COVID.
Yeah.
If Dixie Carter had a Nick Khan back when she was running TNA, she still might be in charge of TNA.
She actually still might be in charge, yeah.
Nick Khan is there to save Vince from himself. But anyway, why was this botched? First of all, Arn Anderson, love you, Arn. You took a hell of a botch.
Yeah.
Not a botch.
Hell of a kick, a hell of a bump.
Yeah, hell of a bump. The microphone somehow was a perfect spot. The botch was Cody was in the ring a little too fast.
Yeah.
The lights went out. The lights came on. Cody just walks right in the ring. He's already in the ring when the lights come back on. Little early, kid. Just back it up. Make
the entrance of running down to the ramp.
Yes. But anyway, back to it.
Or running down to the ring.
So the promo for Malachi Black was he was basically told, your name is Tommy End. It ends with him being Malachi Black. Now, that was the morning of Fyter Fest.
Yeah.
Night 1. He appears...
the week before.
Yeah, the week before. JR and Tony Schiavone do exactly what they're supposed to. Exactly what they're supposed to.
Yes, they are.
Excalibur shits on this, and he not only shits on it, he takes a piss on it. First of all, nobody wants to hear about your wrestling past. Nobody cares. Nobody wants... You love PWG, but you didn't go for Excalibur. You weren't...
I'm about to say, no, we were not there for Excalibur.
You were not flying
to
California.
We were flying to L.A. and Fresno for and he was great, but yeah.
And look who just walked in a little earlier than we expected. Hey.
Yes, hello, you ugly bastard.
You're going to be on that mic for the first time because we really don't need you over there. Unless you want to switch seats. Now we're in the middle of something, but you know what? Why don't you go
You know what?
All right.
He can stay in there.
Aww.
I'll run I got long trip.
Yep.
Got to,
Yeah.
take care of it.
Yeah.
And I'll be
Okay.
right
All
back.
right. All right. Leroy's back. And we were having such a good show.
Maybe I'll leave.
I mean, it's your house. That'd be a weird. That'd be a weird.
Kicking you out of your own house would be weird.
That would fit AEW's version of booking. But
that's true.
But no. So anyway, no. The reason why this was botched was because why would you say Malachi Black? Why? All you had to do was say black because it's a color. You can get away with that.
Yeah.
JR could have said black. Can we say his first name? Tony Schiavone said, is it legal to do that? and then next week, Malachi Black could have been given time on night 2 to explain the situation.
Yeah.
Sadly, you're the moron who brings up Dusseldorf, Germany, and says 15 years ago you wrestled Malachi Black, not Tommy End.
No, he said, I wrestled Tommy End. I don't know who this guy is. That's what he said.
Excalibur actually, no. Excalibur said Malachi Black.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
I thought he said, I wrestled Tommy End. I don't know who this guy is.
I'm pretty sure Malachi was something Tommy had already used before.
For a short time, but most of the time on the indies, he was Tommy End.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But just this again. Mm-hmm. This was a bigger surprise than Andrade because nobody knew about the contract.
Yeah.
But how do you flub this?
So here's where they screwed up.
Well, they let Excalibur talk, number one.
So Excalibur doing all the explaining, it wasn't needed.
No.
Tony and
JR
handled it perfectly.
Yes.
Because the lights going out and him being there, awesome.
Yeah.
The bump that aren't taking, awesome.
Yeah.
Cody, kind of second fuck up. Because I realized like, wait a minute, he's in this ring very quick, and we didn't even see him run down.
Yeah.
But then he takes a kick to the face, sells it well, no problem.
Yeah.
Here was the problem.
There was no afterbirth?
Well, no, that was a good thing.
No.
To me, I have no problem with you lingering on the crowd response to him.
Yeah.
But you can always do too much.
Yep.
And they did it just a little too long.
Okay, so the problem there was that when I was saying the afterbirth not having it was a problem was, like you said, the crowd reacted and then they came down. Go home while the crowd's still up. Go home while you still have some heat.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Well, there's a problem. The next thing was a backstage segment, so.
Yeah. But anyway. Sammy Guevara was out there.
Actually, this was a good match.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't know his opponent. And to be honest, and to be fair to his opponent,
yeah,
He fucking lost the night before on Dark. So they've built him as someone they could put in their mid card because he's on his first night.
For those of you who don't know, it's Wheeler Yuta.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in his first night, he beat. I want to say the Blade. I could be wrong on Dark Elevation, which was great.
Is the Butcher on tour? Is that why he's not on AEW?
So the Butcher got hurt.
Okay.
So the Butcher during one of their last tag matches, apparently once again a knee or something.
Yeah. Tore
up a knee or something. So he's actually hurt.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Leroy. It only took you 35 minutes.
What, after you called me?
Yeah, exactly.
Did I drive too slow?
Yeah, you got here in plenty of time. But
How about it, Sammy? You got here pretty damn quick. But yeah,
we've already done.
So he wins that match.
We've already done 2 segments. Oh god.
Now we're on IAW.
Yeah.
So I didn't miss.
You missed the good stuff.
I missed the good stuff.
There's more good to come. Today's a shit sandwich. We got some nice bread.
All right.
We got some nice bread.
Right.
Some nice toasted bread for everyone.
So he beats somebody important in the Matt Hardy office, which shouldn't even be a faction. It's just too many. He actually beats I forget his name, but somebody really important on Dark a week later.
Okay.
No problem. Okay. He's getting these surprise wins. You're building them in front of your fans. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's how you should be doing it.
Yeah.
And then the night before on Dark, before this match,
yeah,
he lost
to
Angelico. He tapped.
Okay.
And so now he faces Sammy, and if you saw Dark, you already know, well, he's just losing again. So what the hell was the point of giving him the 2 victories before?
I also love how they finally start putting in squash matches, but they're using some of their actual name talent. And everyone's like, well, you wanted that. Yeah, I wanted that for Lance Archer against Joey Janela. I didn't want that for Sammy Guevara trying to become a babyface.
Which, by the way, here's his hometown, so he was pretty much over there.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens, the rest of their touring dates here. But
yeah.
Sammy's going to be a great babyface. He'll probably technically be like the leader of the Inner Circle because the COVID master himself will be on tour starting in August.
Yes.
So he was just at Rockfest, by the way, so he was just near us.
So anyway,
a couple nights ago.
Yeah, he was on Rockfest, and I saw on Facebook Heavy on Wrestling.
Yes.
Yes.
They had a good show in there, and
yes, they did.
JTG and Chris Masters
both appeared, and Eric Cannon, their champion's back, and King Leonidas, my son's next favorite wrestler,
and the former Chris Masters is wrestling for Heavy on Wrestling.
I said
now.
Chris Masters,
yeah,
which I was shocked about. I was like, wow, okay,
yeah.
But anyway,
hopefully it'll be showing nearby. We can see it soon.
After this match was the biggest letdown I've had, and God knows how.
Another one?
Oh yeah.
All right,
we got to get Leroy the list.
The
list.
I printed it out, but I forgot what I printed out.
The list of Leroy.
This was the biggest letdown I think you could have had, and I cannot believe this didn't absolutely tank the ratings. Folks.
Oh, Yuka Sakazawa versus Penelope Ford?
Why was this second to last? Why was this even on Fyter Fest? Okay. Why was this on Fyter Fest? Of all the women in that company, that's what you put on one of your big shows?
Okay.
You hate Penelope more than anybody at this table.
Oh, I know I do. Go ahead, Leroy.
I give you an explanation. It's AEW.
No.
They're that brilliant.
No. It's Kenny Happy Feet Omega.
Well, yeah,
for some strange reason, trying to build a division around who Abby thinks is a star, in Penelope Ford.
She's gonna punch me in the face. But I'm sorry, Abby, you girl.
Well, if she is, will she be there on the 22nd?
Probably, yeah.
Then we got to get her on.
Okay, yeah,
right, we do
definitely. But no,
Eric will be stopping by, so.
But no.
She's
Why?
gonna beat me up, but
why? Why was this a thing?
I'm just happy she took the pinfall. I don't care about.
Oh no! I'm happy she lost, but guess what? That's where you belong, honey. You belong in the lose column of every match you're in.
On your back, looking up at the lights, taking an L. Listen, man. By the way, the on your back is not a reference because she's a woman. People, let's not go there. I'll let Jim Cornette do it.
And to be fair,
on their back,
to be fair,
back, I'm okay with everyone.
And to be fair, look at her husband. She's not the one on the back in that relationship.
To be honest, she actually wears the pants in that relationship. So great for those two.
Well, that's because Kip can't wear adult size.
He does shop at Baby Gap.
Yes. Anyway,
listen. I didn't even get mad when I realized
than Sammy's match.
I know. I didn't even get mad at the fact that this was second to last. You want to know why? Because I'm not shocked. By the way, because Britt, because I think the Britt Baker thing was the next week.
That's actually apparently that's actually going to be.
And that's going to be this week coming up.
Yes.
But
that's Britt and Thunder Rosa, right?
No,
Britt and Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So.
Kind of
they don't. So as much as people complained about how, and they have, with the cuts, WWE's kind of decimated their own women's division. So now he's pulling so many from NXT, and we'll get to a certain one that was traded from NXT later.
Which by the way, apparently there's a reason now why. I don't know if you guys have heard. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, we'll have to get to that later here. But
Gene shared it in the admin chat. I don't know if it was shared in the actual lounge. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But anyway,
so
no.
But you basically give your women like one segment every Dynamite. Every Dynamite. By the way, the show is frantic, so you can only like pick apart which things you might actually like on the show. And so,
and they're never going to be in a row.
No. I mean, well, Friday Fest Night 1, only 3 things in a row, kind of, and then the end of the Matt Hardy Christian Cage thing. I was like, and here we go again with this horse shit.
Yep.
Well, you know my favorite part of the AEW Dynamite on their Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Oh, no. Not on this show the week previous. The ending was crap. Please talk about it.
Well, no, the credits when they say goodbye, you'll see you next week. That's what I'm talking about.
After that, we have to get to this. Darby Allin and Ethan Page had their coffin match. Not a fan of Darby going over because I think that they'd set this up perfectly for Darby to fall and to build Ethan Page into something. Because I feel like this was Ethan's moment to make himself
Here's the thing, though.
relevant.
Ethan Page should have never signed with this company.
I agree.
They're not going to do anything with him. I can promise you now.
Yeah.
For the next year, his blog is going to get real depressing on his side.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to do anything with him.
No.
And
the only reason that they put him with Darby already is because they already have history. Because here's the deal. These guys have no idea how to build from the ground up.
No.
They're just going to build on an already cracked foundation and hope the house stays up.
Here's the thing. Match was a banger.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Ethan Page and Darby are great together.
And then Darby, I think it used to be a joke. I think this guy can have a match with the broom and it might be 3.5, 4 stars. I actually think Darby could do it.
I did see.
Now it's interesting.
The highlight from there.
Now
coffin drop in the end.
Yeah, in the end.
Which was I knew he was going to do it, but because he didn't do it during the match, I'm like, this is odd for a Darby match.
Right? Oh yeah, definitely.
It's interesting that you say that because to me, Darby captures the reason why, at the end of the day, Rey Mysterio has worked in America where a lot of other luchadors don't. Rey Mysterio understands he has natural sympathy built in.
Yes.
Not just because of size, but because he can sell sympathy.
Yes.
And Darby Allin, despite doing a lot of things that make him look invincible, well, at least when he's in match, he sells that he's hurt.
Yes, he does.
He sells that this shit hurts.
He sells suffering very well.
Yes, very much so. But no. I don't know what else to say other than that they had a very good 15-minute match. I enjoyed it.
You know what?
It
we
was
didn't,
worth
we
my
didn't even
time.
get to the worst thing on the show, so let's get to the worst thing on the show. What should have been the best thing on the show, so there's this interview segment for Hangman Page.
Yes.
Hangman Page is talking. By the way, once again, I can't believe it's someone from the Elite, so maybe Hangman used to hang out with Cody all the time.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's where he learned his wrestling from.
He probably, I hope so.
Because the rest of the Elite, they just, everything's a fucking meme to them, and that's where we're about to get into.
We'll get to that.
So he comes out because Tony Schiavone is going to do an in-ring interview.
Tony Schiavone once again gets his mandatory 4 words in and interruption.
So Hangman is cutting this good promo talking about, listen, I was almost AEW champion. And he was. I almost had Chris Jericho beat. I could taste it. Yeah. And then, like he said, I failed. And he's like, all this time, I've been lingering in my head that I was a failure.
He had Kenny Omega.
But, then they became tag team champions. And he's kind of going through the history.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? The Dark Order's absolutely right. I need a challenge for this championship. Absolutely. So he challenges for the championship.
Yeah.
Which now brings out Don Callis. Fucking annoying. Now he's doing his job.
Yes.
I guess so.
But he's extremely annoying.
Yes.
So they all come out with no music. And then here goes the fucking Young Bucks. And listen, Luke Gallows he's out there having fun. I don't even get mad at him. I love Big Luke.
Luke is getting paid by 2 companies, and he only has to work for one. I give Luke
technically he's about to get paid by 3 since they're also doing New Japan stuff again. So, listen, man, so they come out. So for those who don't know, there's a meme with a white guy talking to another guy because the guy was acting like a angry male Karen, and he was saying, "You're not that guy, bruh. You're not that guy, bro."
Yep.
So guess what the Young Bucks do as they're coming out to cut a promo on Hangman Page? "Oh, you're not that guy, bruh." Yeah, he's not that guy. So each of them have to say it besides Brandon Cutler, who's just a butler now.
Can I also point something out? I don't know if it was Fyter Fest Night 1 or if it was this past.
This was Night 1, yeah.
They're clean shaven now.
Yeah, so they all shaved their mustaches.
Except for Olivier. And yes, I stole Jim's line, but except for Kenny Omega, they're now clean shaven. And quick question, because I didn't look that closely. Is the nose ring gone too?
No, that's still there.
Oh, that's still there?
Yeah, that's still there.
Great, so I have to look at that every week.
So, here's what I gathered from this promo.
Yes, please. Please enlighten us on this.
Number one.
Definitely.
Hopefully, the Young Bucks are going to lose these tag team titles. So basically what came of this promo is that there's going to be a 10-man tag.
Yeah.
Hangman, and he'll pick 4 of his best, which will probably be Uno, Stu,
it'll be
Allen, and it's probably someone else.
It'll be
probably Colt Cabana.
It'll be 5 actual names, and then it'll be 2 names, and it'll be any number of the interchangeable 75 job people who walk out with Dark Order every single goddamn week.
Well, and to be fair, Stu Grayson and them deserve this shot. They've kind of always been kind of treated as even their debut was very bad, if people remember, with all the little minions and shit that
I
they
try
sat
not
on.
to remember. Yes.
But if Hangman Page's team wins, which they probably will, they all will get title shots. Probably Stu and what's the name against the Young Bucks.
Evil Uno?
Evil Uno. And then Hangman will get his title shot against Kenny, because that's the guy who's probably going to take the title off of Kenny.
I did see that, and I thought that was decent. That was okay to do.
But here was the problem.
Yeah.
Here was the problem. Then Kenny gets in to try to get quote-unquote serious to cut a promo.
Yes.
That ain't gonna.
Kenny's the worst fucking promo in the world. People, I'm telling you. I don't know if it's because, maybe he really did make Japan his home, so he was just better at cutting promos over there. His Americanized promos are garbage, and he really is the worst world champion in America. Well, it's not even close. It's Roman, Bobby, Nick Aldis, Jacob Fatu. By the way, these are the American ones I can name before I get to Kenny. He is horrible.
Pick any indie promotion right now in America. I feel like you got better champions than Kenny Omega.
I'll take Joey Jet Avalon cutting a promo for AEW as their world champion right now over Kenny Omega. And Joey is great, but come on, dude! You're supposed to be the champion of the second quote unquote largest American company. You got to be better than this.
Now, here's the deal.
And we just saw him at a.
We did.
Great show, and he cut some great promos.
Yeah, but okay. What we need to get into is, I said today's going to involve a lot of Jesse's expertise. Now we have to go to a little thing, sadly involving AEW, but we're going to go into Jesse's old backyard here. Mm-hmm. Jesse, you are originally from where, my friend?
New York, Brooklyn.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Arthur Ashe Tennis Stadium.
Yes.
Is reportedly very highly publicized, about to have an AEW Dynamite.
Yes, they are.
Now, I don't think Vince is having the aneurysm over ticket sales that people are thinking.
No.
But, because here's the deal. You want to sell out at the tennis stadium, sell out the Garden, see what happens.
Vince has sold out the Garden quite a few times.
Yes. But
they're not going to come close to selling out the Garden.
Jesse, there is a place that is known as the city that never sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm trying to explain what we're discussing here. There are territories in wrestling. Love or hate Vince, he may have survived for years as a regional promotion in the toughest area to survive in.
Him and
in
his
the
father
world.
did, yeah.
You guys, you expect quality. You don't live in New York City and then go to an entertainment and have it be lax.
Yeah, no.
Y'all ain't paying those prices on Broadway. Y'all ain't paying those kind of prices.
New Yorkers will let you know if they hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. They do not care.
You ain't got to worry.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Philly booed Santa, but New Yorkers probably beat up Santa after the game.
Like. Yep. You guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
You guys will sit through bad entertainment, but you make your presence known that it's bad.
Like I tell people, I'm a Jet fan, but go to Jet games when they were bad. You'll hear booing from the third quarter till the end of the game.
Yep.
We don't care.
No.
Like, we'll let them know, like, you suck. We'll start throwing stuff at the owner's box.
So here is a show in your backyard.
Yeah.
And what bothers me is...
By the way, they should have had it at college first. Like, they have to be so overambitious to compete with WWE that they want one of the largest tennis stadiums in the world.
Yeah.
Like... You ass wipes. Like you can't just get into New York first.
And my biggest problem is this. They're announcing this huge surprise. This company needs to stop teasing surprises because every time it happens, I get so disappointed. I'm like Leroy on his wedding night. Anyway.
I wasn't disappointed.
You were disappointed for the 18 months afterwards.
Wow. The first year was all right. After that, things went to shit.
Thank you, Leroy. Anyway, but no, it's just you guys need to stop opening mouth inserting both feet.
Yeah.
I understand that TNT wants ratings. I get that. I get that they've already bent you over backwards, spanked you a couple of times, and said you're going to listen to Papa here.
And they're already going to throw him on CBS next year.
Yeah. But here's the deal. If this ain't Punk, Daniel Bryan, or Brock Lesnar...
No one cares.
Do I care?
No.
Am I going to care? What is the point of me caring? Because here's the deal. Christian wasn't as big as you built him up to be.
No.
Wasn't worth it. Christian, worthy name, not worth what you did.
No.
But it's just, here's the deal. You are not going to get anyone that you are building up to be. It ain't going to be Rick. It ain't going to be Ric Flair. He wouldn't do it. Rick don't need the money.
No.
No,
The other thing about it is that if it's not Brock, if it's not CM Punk, if it's not Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, why do I care? Because here's the deal. Everyone else that can be brought in, they're big and they're over to you, the AEW audience. They're not over to the people in New York City.
No.
Because New York City's barely paying attention to you right now.
They barely hang on to WWE, and they're still a bigger company.
Exactly. This is New York City. Okay? A man made his career there by singing just about New York City.
True.
Billy Joel basically was just a New Yorker his whole life, sang a bunch of New York tunes, and guess what? It worked.
Yeah.
But
true.
just this is sadly me once again, as Jesse did with Jungle Boy and Jurassic Express, predicting the future of AEW. You guys, and here's the deal. Everyone's like, well, it could be someone else. No. Those are the only three that I care about on this level.
Also, very quickly, I'm going to predict on this show, and I'm going to put a live video out on YouTube, so go to the YouTube.
Yeah.
In 2 months' time, when they eventually have this match with Cody Rhodes and the now Malachi Black,
yes,
there's a 50% chance Cody puts himself over again.
Yeah.
It's probably higher.
Yeah.
But right now, the only reason I won't go higher than 50% is because Malachi is such a huge name, and I think even half of their own fan base would turn on Cody if he beat him.
I saw two things on there. Are they calling him Malachi?
Yeah, his name is Malachi.
He's
or
both.
Are they going to call him Tommy Yen?
He's both.
He's both.
They're calling him both?
Because what Excalibur...
Oh, my God.
What Excalibur basically alluded to was he once wrestled Malachi Black, not Tommy End. It's a persona. The video package kind of proved this is just Tommy having a split personality. So it's definitely a situation in which there's a lot of potential here, but just like the flub with the debut, they're going to flub it up in the match. But, Jesse, do me a favor.
Okay.
Take us on a journey, because we have listeners from around the country, around the world, some of which have maybe never seen your great town, your great city.
Okay.
What exactly does an entertainer have to expect when they walk into the place that is New York City?
The Mecca, as we like to call it.
Any of the boroughs.
The Mecca
Any of the
boroughs.
Yes.
First off, you got to be on your A game, because if we pay money to see you in New York, we paid money to see you do well. You can make a mistake if it's an honest mistake and recover. We can forgive that. But if you're just putting on a shit show, and we've paid, it's, by the way, I've seen the prices that they're charging for this show, and you're paying that much money, you're going to get booed, you're going to get heckled, you're probably going to get a lot of beer thrown at you, and you'll never want to come back. And guess what? We'll be happy you don't come back.
And here's the thing people don't understand.
Because there's other shit we can do in New York.
We also watched
the go boo the Giants and the Jets.
Well, there you go.
We've watched Hammerstein ballroom shows.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't no security in those shows because they're never going to get mean. They're just going to get loud.
Oh, no. So even with the security there, it's not that they will come out the stands to try to punch you. No. But they will let you know how they feel.
The sad part about it is that this is a company that there's nothing that you can do in Arthur Ashe Stadium on the surface, is what I'm saying, that you haven't already done. And here's my point. Surprise, signing, you showed it to me. Meh. Any Young Bucks match, I get to see it every night on Dynamite. You've killed Jurassic Express. You've killed Jungle Boy. You've killed this. You've killed that. You've done this. You've done that. I don't care. Here's the deal. You can't have like even this surprise entrant.
Yeah.
If it ain't one of them three. Yeah. If it's not one of those three, there's nobody that's going to get over in New York City. And all of you are sitting here thinking that I'm overanalyzing. Jesse, this is your backyard.
That's a 70,000 person stadium. And you want 70,000 people there? And you don't entertain them?
Not just 70,000 people. 70,000 New Yorkers.
Like, yeah, there's going to be some tourists that fly in, whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to be deeply outnumbered.
And
if you suck for any reason, because, by the way, apparently WWE will be there for SmackDown 2 nights later. You suck for any reason? Vince doesn't have to send anybody. Actually, Vince might do you a favor. Send your Roman Reigns to save your shitty show.
Yeah.
Because you don't want 65,000 New Yorkers on your ass. That's a bad night.
But the point is that I'm getting to is you guys have yet to prove in over 2 years now.
Yeah, it's
you
insane.
guys have yet to prove that you can live up to your own hype. You've proven it. Sorry, you can't prove it to me. You've proven, but you can't prove. You've proven you can't deliver. That's the problem. Oh. Every single pay-per-view is just a bad version of Dynamite. And Dynamite ain't even that good.
Like I said, I can only pick and choose on Dynamite for myself.
But the fact of the matter is that Arthur Ashe Stadium is having good ticket sales from what we're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
As Leroy and I can attest to, what you hear on ticket sales and what actually shows up, totally different situation.
Well, AEW
They're
News...
spending a lot for these tickets.
Yeah. Did you see the prices? Yeah.
I just wondering for
Arthur Ashe Stadium AEW.
For two.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 tickets, $460.
Yeah.
That is the most. 2 tickets for almost $2,000.
Yeah.
No, that is not worth it.
AEW is about to go into a place.
People are talking. They're like some of their Mark fans are talking about. Oh, Vince go learn, man. They're gonna have a real problem with fans maybe soon. We'll see what happens in Minneapolis. I'm like, no, Minneapolis will show up for WWE. You got to worry about Minneapolis.
I'll be there. Don't worry about that.
But I will say this: you guys are about to find out very hard in September because football's already going on. So if the Giants and Jets lose, you already got pissed off New Yorkers at the show that just paid a ton of money.
It's also outdoor.
If you don't have a good show and it's raining, so Vince could do WrestleMania there and it's raining because it's WrestleMania. So guess what? You're going to get some banger matches. He's going to put on a spectacle. He understands it's New York. I got to put on a spectacle. Mm-hmm. Even if some of the matches go awry, at least the spectacle keeps them entertained enough.
New Yorkers,
they don't lose their shit.
New Yorkers are not paying three figures to watch a half-assed Dynamite.
You pay $2,000 and you come out with a Kenny promo or heaven forbid a fucking Miro promo. Miro might get beat down after a show. You'll hear about an injury. Like
Miro can't beat 65,000. Miro can't beat 65,000.
Miro crush by the weight of New York. Y'all better put on a great show. That's all I got to say. At least Vince, when he goes and puts on big shows in New York, he understands. Put on a spectacle.
And again,
because if anything goes wrong, at least a spectacle, celebrities and stuff like that helps.
Can we also go into a little bit of a time machine here for a second? The last time the Elite was supposed to dazzle
By the way, that show didn't even sell out in Madison Square Garden. So they went and I remember that. They went and over-promoted talking about we're going to sell out Madison Square Garden. It's looking like we're going to – and they didn't. And they didn't. And yeah, Vince shouldn't have did what he did to give them fucking credence, but they didn't. Like, because it was a Ring of Honor New Japan. By the way, and I wanted to go to that show because New Japan was involved, and they had some banger-ass matches on that card.
Yeah.
But yeah, did not sell out. They sold half, but they didn't sell out. Not even close. Remember, they did the show... I think they did ROH did a joint show with New Japan in Dallas, and the only reason that one did better on its second night was because, of course, Dallas Maverick owner owns a couple of TV stations that run New Japan shows.
Right, yeah.
So he promoted the shit out of it in the area for New Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Not even for Ring of Honor. So
the fact of the matter is that I hate to say this, Tony, but first of all, we already know that you've gotten into bed with some weird-ass motherfuckers. You're getting into bed with some guys who – and by the way, how bad is this going to look to Ring of Honor if the Bucks show up for AEW but not for Ring of Honor? They were supposed to make that show. Yeah. And not just make it as in show up. They were supposed to be the headline of that show, and they just no-showed it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, for those of you who are like, well, we gave notice, but no, I don't care why you weren't there. You should have freaking done the show.
You should have been there.
Because you were advertised for the show.
Ring of Honor was dependent on you.
You know what? I was really bored looking up SmackDown, which is a hell of a lot better show than AEW, totally. Yeah. For one ticket close to ringside, like row 9 in Madison, which is a great venue to go to anyways. $1,058 for a ticket.
That's because it's
so you're spending $2,000 for a ticket down there in the cities.
Yeah.
In New York, but of course SmackDown is way better.
Well, but also that's the Garden.
Tribal and it's the Garden.
It's not Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Unfortunately, the Garden is never cheap, even when the Knicks suck.
I know. I was just really
even when the Knicks suck, rich people are the only ones.
More people would go and boo the owner.
I was just checking on prices, but the prices going here would be even better than going to Arthur.
Yeah.
Which is
it's also indoor, temperature controlled,
and you can get one for a little over $800 for a ticket.
But folks,
way better.
This has the potential to be their biggest flub. Period.
I'm gonna just do a wait and see, like I always do at AEW. I'm gonna do a wait and see. I'm not for this show. I'm not even gonna predict anything until a week before. I will reserve my right because if their stories go to crap, trust me, I'm telling you, that show's gonna go very, very badly.
Oh yeah.
If AEW has sat there and like Jesse said, there'll be some fans who come in, who fly in, touristy. They'll follow this.
Of course.
But here's the deal. This is going to be, what do you think? 80 to 90% like native New Yorkers?
I would say probably 80% native New Yorkers.
Y'all might hear boos you've never heard before.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? You ain't going to keep them quiet by bringing out their favorite indie guy.
No. Just they'll boo them.
They don't care.
They'll boo their favorites. If they hate the show, we'll boo our we don't care.
They'll boo their own mom. They don't care.
Bro, for real. The show's going bad. You bring out the mothers. They'll throw stuff at their you know what? Because you pay $2,000. You want to be entertained. Mom, I love you. Cooking was great before I came to the show, but get the hell out the ring.
Yeah. It's just, Jesse, I don't know what else to say because obviously we're still so far away from it and we don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But my God, this has the potential to just not.
Just understand, guys, this is not a Chicago situation where they love you guys because, Chicago really did become an indie wrestling town.
It was also crowdfunded.
True.
They were part of the funding. This is Tony Khan can get in because his daddy owns a bunch of sports teams.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't have any clout here. Vince has given New Yorkers so much over the years.
Yes.
He's earned some clout there to where if he has an off night, there's a little forgiveness.
Yeah.
They're still going to boo you out of the building.
They'll still boo him.
But
Don't
there's
get
a
it
little
wrong.
forgiveness
Yes.
when the night's over. You don't have the clout. You don't have the cachet. You don't have the insurance that WWE's
You know what I've
got.
realized also? AEW has yet to do a show in LA. I wonder why that is. Now, remember, most of their guys are from PWG. That's weird. That's right. Because if your show sucks, you barely get $1 million. LA, there's so much to do in California, they won't even show up.
No.
Man, it's sunny in LA all the time if you don't know. AEW be in town. Right. AEW's be in town. I don't care, man. I'm going to the beach. I don't care.
Yeah, I'd enjoy going to the beach probably better.
The fact of the matter is this.
You just got to do better, guys. Got to do better.
This night, Bucks, Kenny, even Cody, because you're part of this shit show, you are on notice.
By the way, what date did I give that the official Cody finally blew up on the Elite?
I think you've got somewhere in October.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
But that's just it, folks, is that...
You know what? This show might do it.
Yeah.
This show might do it.
Because here's the deal. Okay. So random question to you, Mr. Native New Yorker.
Yeah.
If they bring what they've already brought, which they've proven they just redo every week.
Yeah.
If they bring this into Arthur Ashe Stadium and it's 60,000 Native New Yorkers, what is going to happen? Because here's the deal. This shit's barely over with their own live audience in Daly's plays.
It might hurt.
This might be the only real bump the Bucks actually take.
Well, listen. They're going to take bumps from cans, beer glass, wine glass, popcorn machines probably because they'll go pick those up.
I also want to point something out. New York sports fans, they've gone to jail for less.
Yes, they have.
There's not even a football season, and they'll argue with Philly fans.
Yeah,
They've gone to jail for less than what they'll do to you.
I wish AEW because they've been promoting the hell out of it, and I'm just like, listen, man, why not just go to one of the schools? Go to Temple. That's a good 20,000 seated venue for the basketball stadium.
That's the other part that I don't understand. Why are you acting like you all of a sudden can fill a 70,000 person arena when Vince kind of struggles to do it unless it's a WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Because
WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Good ratings last time.
All right, we're going to get into that because that is a great segue for Fyter Fest Night 1. Ladies and gentlemen, 1.025 million.
Good for them.
Here's the deal. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Can you do it on a normal Dynamite? Without a Shaq,
True.
without a Tyson, without a major pay-per-view name to it, without a special show where you've put all your matches? Can you do it on a night where your schedule looks as follows, because it does every night? Bucks open the show. Bad Kenny promo. They go home. Dark Order shows up. I don't know why. Pick a reason.
I actually got nothing better
Eddie
to do.
Kingston's
I
out.
like those Dark
Eddie
Orders,
Kingston's
so.
out there doing one of the 7 things he's involved in. Moxley's gonna play a song from a movie, good movie, but still
Of course.
a movie.
And a
Of course.
shaved head now.
And a shaved head. Mr.
course.
Balding Plumber is
Of
no
course.
longer balding; he's just bald. But here's the deal: if that's your setup, prove to me you can get over 1 million. Well, how about the first 3 weeks? You were new.
True.
We're 2 years in. Unless you have a major star promoted, unless you've promised a huge couple of matches, not just one, you can't break 900,000. Your ratings since live fans came back have tanked. And no, they haven't gone into the tank, but they've gone down. Tanked means to lower.
Well, what SmackDown hit Friday? Because I know
2.18 something million.
2.18.
Woo-hoo, yeah.
And that was with the show, as Jesse and I pointed out at the top of the show, going backwards.
It was basically booked backwards.
Because you wanted your best stuff on first because it was the first time in front of fans.
Yeah.
I will.
And
have
by the
to
way, Vince, love you.
hopefully
Short.
watch it.
Yeah.
Before the pay-per-view time, or maybe after. I don't
You're
know.
going to get a little sentimental.
Hulu should have it on now.
Oh yeah, I know Hulu will have it,
Yeah.
but I was.
That's
thinking,
what I watched it on.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to watch it at before
Money in the Bank
the
tonight?
Oh,
pay-per-view
Money in the Bank
But no.
tonight, yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna have to
Vince,
watch it later.
Vince, I loved it. Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
Vince's the new SmackDown setup, very nice.
Yeah.
Clean.
I did see that. Yeah, I like
Clean.
that.
I actually liked that Vince came out and was just like, "Where the hell have you been?" and then kind of walked away. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
didn't have to
It was a
say
play
anything.
on.
Yeah.
It was a play, and it was simple to what we've all been going through.
Yeah. People were a little confused because even the fans thought he might say more. So when he walked back, people were like, "Oh, okay. I think Vince is done."
Before we get back to, they were back in front of a live
Yeah.
crowd. NXT's had a good couple of weeks.
Yes, they have. Oh man, Great American Bash.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Great American Bash
Wow.
has
Oh,
exceeded all our expectations.
Yeah.
yes.
We loved it. Let's get to the results,
Let's
shall
go
we?
for it. Let's go for it.
Because my God, was this fun. All right, to open the show, we had MSK versus Ciampa and Thatcher. In my opinion,
Match got a little sloppy.
while I agree that MSK was outclassed, it's hard not to get outclassed by those two.
How about especially
Oh,
those two
definitely.
guys? Yeah.
It's hard not
Especially those
to
two
get
guys.
outclassed. And by the way, for those of you who've been freaking out about how the most dangerous wrestling move now is the roll-up,
Yeah.
this is where it worked. This
Right.
was a good finish.
Right,
Yes.
Because
right.
here's the deal. And you know, Vic Joseph even said it. After everything they'd been through.
Yeah.
Not a ton of false finishes.
No.
But after everything they'd been through,
Yeah.
to have something as hard-hitting and as action-packed as this
Yeah.
end on such a low point
Which was
was
interesting.
perfect.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. It was also MSK
Yeah.
in the end, despite the whole 12-minute match,
Mm-hmm.
the last 3 seconds, they outclassed Ciampa and Thatcher.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
Yeah.
This is where that ending was prime.
Like I said, my only issue was it got a little sloppy in the middle, and I think there was just some timing issues.
Well,
but otherwise,
so, yeah.
well, and the other problem is that Johnny Gargano and Ciampa, despite being opposite wrestling styles,
Yeah.
they'd worked together for so long. They'd had this. This was kind of thrown together, and 2 different styles of wrestling were put together. But the thing about it is that, no, while I believe MSK was outclassed, I'm glad they won, and I'm glad they won the way that they did,
Yes.
because not only does MSK get to move on, if that is the case,
Yes.
but they created a place where Ciampa and Thatcher can look at themselves and say, why were we outclassed in the end? We need to get better
Yeah.
in the end.
Yeah.
That's why this works. The
I
next
agree.
match, goddamn, L.A. Knight, Cameron Grimes. Love it.
Oh,
Great.
yes.
You know Cameron Grimes is going to bring some great, Butler
Oh, yeah.
shit to that. This is going to be fabulous.
Oh, it already
He
started
did.
this past week.
I
yeah.
know. I know.
I did watch that, and I
Yeah.
was like,
It's so
funny.
funny.
Oh, my
Yes.
God.
It's so good. And the best part is, and this is where your boys over at Impact dropped the ball.
Yeah, they did.
Because Cameron Grimes can talk.
Yes, he can.
This
Yes, he can.
is I am joyfully, gleefully happy at this because this is something that's going to be good wrestling comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Actually good wrestling comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Because guess what? It's going to be made to be a comedy skit. Not a serious match that turns into a comedy skit.
And it makes sense within the story.
Well, it is.
Sorry, go ahead, Leroy.
No, it is. I saw a little clip of the first time that he was as a butler.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes, I love him. he is so much fun. I was worried. It's like, oh my God, it's like the next Virgil. I'm like, no, he can't be because he actually has character.
And he has money.
And he has money.
I just want to point something out.
Oh my God.
What I want after this is over, I want Cameron Grimes to tag team with, who's the guy who won the North American Championship during COVID? Short black kid.
Leon Ruff.
I want those two together because they are just gold together. They just work. I loved Leon Ruff. I've loved Cameron. They're just fun.
Yeah.
They're fun in wrestling.
That would be interesting.
That would be fun.
I loved the next match. Was it early to take the belts off of the way? Probably. But Io and Zoe stepped up in a big way.
Oh, yes.
Zoe's been good since she got there.
I'm not saying she's ever been bad, but she lived up to the moment that she was in.
Yeah.
Because she's never had a moment like this.
It's once again.
She's been on a takeover, but she was never in a spot takeover.
Once again, this is an Impact dropping the ball because they had her for 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, it's insane. Like,
and in 4 months, she's already a bigger star.
They've been able to do something with her in 4 months that they couldn't do in 4 years in that women's division.
Well, you just look at it too. Sometimes it takes somebody being in a different spot.
True.
To have a different eye look at her and say, you know what, we should do this,
ladies and gentlemen.
You know.
This is where AEW has been decent. As far as, because Ty Conti has shined over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where maybe her head got too big for her britches in NXT, so getting cut humbled her.
Yeah.
But she has shined over there.
And by the way, for those who people needing to change the scenery, Tyler Breeze is still on Up, Up, Down, Down.
I told people.
He's been on numerous videos, and they've just kept it going, and it's been great.
Well, like I told people, the only reason that happened with Jericho is because Vince felt burned by the way he handled the whole him going to AEW thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no, I told people
this tag team match, it was only 8 minutes. It felt like 15.
Yeah, I know.
In the best way.
It was so good.
Indy Hartwell may not have been my pick back then.
Yeah.
But come along great.
Oh, yeah.
I think the
Tegan Knox return at the end was a little flat, though.
But that's the crowd's issue.
Yeah.
But I also think the sad part about it is that they did the battery for so long. I think people figured it out.
It was kind of hard not to be like, okay, this must, because the way the battery is charging, I'm like, this clearly has to be Tegan Knox.
Also, to be fair, the Tegan Knox going to SmackDown thing directly after, I think it's actually been explained well in the sense that Tegan, quote-unquote, finished her. Now, okay, kayfabe, Tegan had some unfinished business. She got it.
Yeah,
you could have waited 2 weeks for a match against Candice, but, okay, she got what she needed. Now she goes to the main roster. In real life, they needed to replenish the women's division, and they picked two really good ones to do it.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, Shotzi leaving Ember so soon. Ember needs to stay in NXT. We've already done that experiment.
Well, here's the thing. Ember needs to stay in NXT because they burned her. Like, why would you have her in the 24/7 picture? That's how she got hurt.
Yeah.
Was doing one of the chase down scenes. Yeah. And apparently there's been 3 blow-ups at Vince from Triple H, and one of them, apparently before he took her back, was about Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Because he was like, why the hell would you have this woman chasing this stupid-ass title? Like, apparently, like, he went off. And he was like, if you're not doing anything with her when she comes back, I'm taking her back.
Yeah.
So no, she needs to stay in NXT for now.
Yes.
It will be interesting. Because here's my thing. So, of course, everything still goes through Vince as far as the main roster and how the stories come out.
But I feel like Hunter's one of the few people that can talk to him.
But I want to say this, though. I think big thing will be, as they're back on the road, if he's allowing Paul to do more SmackDown, that's when I would then consider bringing her back up, and only on SmackDown.
Right.
Because I think Paul Heyman will keep convincing Vince what to do with her.
I also think that it was a good pairing because Tegan and Shotzi, there's a lot of similarity, but there's also a lot of contrast.
I think Tegan getting called up is a good thing in just this one case. How long till her next freaking knee injury?
Yeah.
And it's just she's almost cursed at this point.
Well, it's like, what are they going to call her? Are they just going to call her Knox?
Here's the interesting part about that. If you go to WWE's official Facebook page, the video package of behind the scenes of their first night on SmackDown, they called them Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox. But live on TV, they're only calling them Knox and Shotzi. Which, again, Vince likes the one-name thing, but I get it. Because the one-name thing, Prince, MJ, they shortened it to just 2 letters. Prince, Madonna, in music, it's a common thing. One name has always sort of pushed you to the top.
I'm right now. I'm gonna ride and decide on that one.
Yeah. No. Totally
sometimes keeping 2 names is just fine.
No. I agree.
Because remember, like they got rid of Buddy Murphy. They got rid of the Buddy part of Murphy for a while. And then it was just Murphy. And then they gave it back to him. Like I said, I'm gonna let it ride and decide. Like I said, I think wrestling fans should not get so upset about that. It's like, let's let Vince try it. If it clearly, like, if you guys clearly don't care about the name so much, Vince will just give him the name back.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I mean, Shotzi, I think can do it.
Now, getting back to Great American Bash, the match of the night. These 2 guys, you give them rules, they steal the show. You take the rules away, they steal the show. This was wrestling. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
They beat the hell out of each other. But they did it within the confines of a wrestling match. Adam Cole got to prove what he always wants, is that he's the better wrestler. That Kyle can't do it. I mean, but Kyle sold like death, number 1. Kyle looked hurt by the end of this thing.
But I will say, the cool Kyle thing has to go soon. It's kind of fucking annoying.
Well, maybe they'll find something.
I think
I hope so.
I think they're attempting to change his character now after watching this past week. But I'm just like, you know what? Let Kyle get rid of that shit, because it's a bit annoying. You can keep the music. It's, by the way, they need to find someone new to work with, because most of the new themes stink. They're terrible. You guys, I listen. I actually did send in a resume to WWE to work with them as a music partner. Somebody has to do it. Most of the new music is terrible. I finally downloaded Seth's new theme because I thought it sounded good on SmackDown. It sounds so processed that it's actually annoying. But otherwise, Kyle, they're probably going to do one more banger-ass match to kind of finish the story. But he's got to get rid of the cool Kyle character. But otherwise, not a shock at how great this match was. The storytelling between these 2 guys is always phenomenal. I'm at a point.
Adam Cole.
I'm at a point with Adam Cole where, like, baby, that, like, I don't know. Is he one of the guys who's going to get one of the draft calls up in October?
If Adam Cole was 2 inches taller and never got sick and still had another 20 pounds on him, Vince would have gobbled him up the second he walked in the door.
Well, he's the closest. Well, he's
the closest thing to Shawn Michaels they've had in years. He is.
Only reason I don't know what Dolph was always missing, but Adam Cole is clearly the closest thing to Shawn Michaels we've seen in years. So
to quote Jim Cornette, how do you not look at him and not see Shawn Michaels without the addiction problems?
It's true.
So true.
It's very true.
I totally agree.
Like I said, I would have to think, come the draft, Adam's going to Raw, because like there's really not much for him left to do.
Adam Cole goes to Raw. It doesn't matter who's on that roster. It doesn't matter if it's the Giants or if it's the mid-card smaller guys. Adam Cole will immediately mesh with whoever you give him. Because Adam Cole just works.
Yes.
Adam Cole is just... I mean, at 19 years old, he walked in a Ring of Honor, and Jim Cornette, of all people, said he gets this. Of of all people.
Well, because unlike certain people, he also listened to legends when he was talked to.
Yeah.
But I digress. But yeah, so
Maybe
great.
like Adam Cole and Sheamus.
That would be a great match.
I'd enjoy that.
While Sheamus can still
title.
Go. Well, he's not going to have that title for much longer.
No.
I don't think.
Yeah, I Adam Cole. I don't think heavyweight champ. I mean, U.S. champion right now.
I think if
that
he
would
got
be
called
great.
up, he would definitely go to the mid card right away.
Yeah,
I think
But
so.
it would
That'd be a
just
good
be
way
to
start.
show Vince that he's capable. And
it wouldn't be long.
I'm about to say, once Vince saw it, he'd be like, yeah, this guy's the main eventer. I can't keep this
yeah.
title on him.
No.
So, but the next week on NXT was just as good.
Oh, God.
You got the follow through of what happened with the way and all that.
Yep.
Listen, I like the little love story between Indy and Dexter. The problem is
Index for the win. Index for the win.
the problem is at some point soon, yes, he hasn't held a championship there. He's barely ever been in the title picture. But I think even Jim kind of said it a little bit about Samuel Shaw. At some point, Vince is going to call him up just because of his look.
Yes.
Because remember, they did the whole the tryouts thing, so there's more names coming up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But his look alone screams should be in the main events on one of my two main shows.
Yes.
And will they probably take him to a darker character than what he is in NXT? Probably.
Yeah.
But Triple H, I don't. He's kind of fiddled with this character for so long. I don't think he's ever gotten the best out of the character.
No, not at all.
And so, like I said, I love Index.
Yeah.
But that's always been my downfall on Dexter. It's just like
with the
they've
crowds.
never done a lot with
So
him.
now we're gonna move into a few things here. Crowds are back.
Listen, man, SmackDown.
SmackDown opened. The crowd was lit.
So Vince now knows who his top baby faces are. You ready? Edge.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair got a monster pop. Those are the two loudest of the night.
That. Oh,
Despite the fact that our wonderful friends in the lounge kind of turned on her, the fans are still with Bianca.
No. I'm about to say,
turning
mainstream
on
audience is
Bianca?
extremely into Bianca Belair.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to yell at them guys for
And then
digging on Bianca.
very surprisingly, Liv Morgan.
She got a huge
pop after she came out on top in that brawl.
Sweet.
I was like, wow, what? So now for tonight.
Hey, AEW. Hey, AEW. Here's what can happen with a crowd if you give some people some cheap wins once in a while, and you don't just have them wrestle once every 6 months.
And I get the roll-up wins can be annoying because WWE does it so often.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, I was not expecting the crowd to be that into Liv Morgan. Like once she started coming back on people and got like the code breaker and all that stuff in on people,
yeah,
they were popping huge. I was legitimately shocked. And then of course we now know who the heels are. So Baron Corbin is still a heel.
Can I also point something out?
By the way, I loved that segment.
This is the most I don't know if you saw this in the lounge, but Gene posted this is the most entertaining Corbin's ever been. and hold on. And Darren Corbin said thank you. Taking credit for his brother's for his brother's work.
That Darren, he's so smart.
Darren also said he's trying to get people to go to his cameos because his brother needs a little more money because the maids have been fired. However, Darren hasn't answered me back yet. But Darren, I still don't know if Darren lost his dukeship, his earlness.
Yes, his earlness.
I don't know. Did he lose that now that the crown has changed hands? Has King Shinsuke been,
maybe he'll address it.
Yes,
because we need to know.
But
yes,
over the weekend, I don't know if you know, I saw on the Facebook too. There's actually an IP beer with Darren on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need a 6-pack. Yes. I have to ask him how I can get a 6-pack because I need that.
I will say this to be fair to Baron Corbin. He's always given whatever they've given him 100%.
Oh, he has 100%.
It's just for some reason, after us kind of being annoyed with his character for so long, this one just works.
Can I also point something out? The underrated star of the night for this SmackDown was actually Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
Dominic did not botch.
But this is his first time ever, actually wrestling in front of a crowd, and he was great.
Was he at WrestleMania?
Yeah, but he didn't wrestle at WrestleMania.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, he was just.
But that's just it. No. But that's my thing. He did not botch in a horrible way. I don't think he botched really at all.
No.
He kept his cool.
He sold like a great baby face when Roman was beating the hell out of him.
He did his job. He got to his spots.
Yeah.
He knew what to do, which was very, very impressive. So all that crap we gave him for the Thunderdome era, the kid did his job.
He improved so well. Like I told people, like, seriously, if you deeply watch him, he's improving so much week to week.
Yeah.
It's not a shock that he's Eddie Guerrero's son.
Yeah.
So it's. Like
the lineage and who he's learning from.
Yeah,
he has to improve, and he has.
Yeah, he's. It was so impressive.
Yes,
like it was. I was genuinely so impressed when I went back and watched SmackDown because I was like, wow. Like now seeing it in front of a crowd is very impressive.
I had to watch it twice because the first time, I'll admit, I had a bunch of hopamine just because there was a crowd. and the
wrestling with the crowd feels better.
And the way.
Oh,
and the way that the crowd was set up, I told Jesse this before you got here, Leroy. It felt like an old Attitude Era show, just with the way the fans were all bunched together.
Oh my God!
And the way the cameras were.
Edge got like a Stone Cold Steve Austin pop. I still can't believe that.
I thought the building was actually shaking.
Like it was
not even gonna
insane.
Well, I can't wait for tonight because it will have that feel tonight.
And can I also say something?
They might put the championship on him tonight after that pop.
Yeah. We as wrestling fans. All of us need to sit here. We need to put down our hands. We need to put them together. We need to just understand something. We do not deserve Pat McAfee.
He's so great.
Oh
we do not deserve this man. This man is a goddamn genius. This man, I don't even know if Vince is even in his ear, because why would you need to be?
So, he actually swore on commentary this week.
He was that good?
Yes.
Oh, my God. He incited a riot between Selena and Liv. And he was in that.
Yes, he was.
That was.
I heard.
I know this might sound crazy, but put him with Corey Graves. This might be the greatest commentary team of all time.
Oh, my God.
Well, I thought, he was.
But the other part about it is
wasn't
that
he enticing the fans to boo the other?
So before the show,
he
also enticed the fans.
Yes.
So he cut a promo, and he enticed the hometown fans.
Yes.
To boo Michael Cole as he came out.
Yep.
Okay, I saw that.
Yes.
I didn't read it way.
Yes.
Oh, that was
It was before
great.
after the show. Oh my God.
We do not deserve this man on commentary because holy crap.
So one of the big things that happened on SmackDown this week was Finn Balor returned.
Yes.
I did see that.
So,
I love the Prince coming back.
So the Prince came back. He did beat up Sammy. And it was the funniest thing because Vince doesn't really like them to swear too much on SmackDown.
He didn't give a damn.
Because it's on Fox.
Yep.
But, so after Finn does his beatdown and all that and starts to kind of solemnly kind of celebrate with the fans.
Yeah.
Pat went, I mean, it's great to see Finn, but why did he come out here and whoop Sammy's ass? I mean,
whoops. Why did he come out here and whip Sammy's ass?
And you could actually hear Michael Cole kind of laugh underneath his mic.
Yeah.
Because they're probably we're probably not supposed to say that.
Yeah.
But I got to assume, because he ended up saying it again about the whole thing, that Vince is like, oh, say it again. That was funny. Because it was just genuine out of Pat, because he was just like, wait, I don't get it. Why did he come out here and whoop Sammy's ass?
Pat McAfee.
Oh
Pat McAfee
I
is.
can't wait for tonight.
And you know what's crazy? We've talked many times on the show that Pat doesn't need this.
No,
he doesn't. But ladies and gentlemen, he's so respectful about the job that he's doing.
Yes.
Pat is not just coming out here.
You can tell he genuinely goes out there and have fun. We basically
He's making Michael Cole have fun again.
Because we basically almost haven't seen this since JR and Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah.
Or even Taz and Michael Cole way back in the day.
Yeah.
Where the color commentator would have a ton of fun.
We do not deserve this man.
No.
Because he's jumping on the desk. he's just, I mean, like, what isn't he doing in the commentary booth?
Oh, it's the stuff with him
and Big
and
E.
then Shinsuke Nakamura.
Big E was better because he gets a foot soak and he still did his job.
And he still did his damn job. It was so funny. It was so funny. God,
we kind of already did it. But no, I mean, it's just, folks, holy crap. Pat McAfee, you give him a crowd. It's brilliant. You know, I mean, he's having fun. I actually kind of hope that once Bayley gets through a little bit more rehab, bring her back like they did Miz.
So yeah, people are like, man, can you like bring her back as like the third person on commentary just for fun?
That or just have her do more segments of
it would be
Ding Dong Hello.
Like between her and her hatred for Michael Cole and then Pat McAfee. Oh, SmackDown would be definitely the best wrestling show every week.
It'd be so
Him
good.
on one side, Bayley on the other. And
Michael Cole in the middle just suffering.
No, I'd have Michael Cole on one side, Pat in the middle, and Bayley on one side.
Oh, that'd be actually kind of fun.
I think that would work
that
because
she's always going to tell probably Michael Cole to shut up, you idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
But just I mean, whatever you do not treat this as a situation where, okay, we're going to take Bayley away for a while. Please give her something to do because she's going to be great at whatever it is.
Yes, she is.
And now we move from someone who's great at what they do, who was a fan, who's learned, who understands.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, we got to go back. I'm sorry. We got to go back to your boys, the Bucks. We got to. And here's why. Josh Barnett was recently on a podcast.
Okay.
And Josh had some comments about the Bucks' time in New Japan.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
I did not.
All right.
And I like Josh, but sometimes Josh says some asinine things.
Josh was sitting there saying that despite the fact the Bucks have apparently said that Josh and JR were trying to destroy them on commentary, Josh, and I'll paraphrase a little bit what he said. I'm not going to read the quote for quote. Josh basically said, "We weren't trying to bury you. You were heels.
Yes.
You were cheating.
Yes.
We basically never said you were bad wrestlers. We said you were dirty, dastardly deeds.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Yeah, that's their job.
And the fact of the matter is that Josh also said, if you're gonna be heels, be heels.
Yes.
But the problem with the Bucks is they want to sit there and all they want to do is sell merch. They don't care what they do on the show.
Clearly.
Now, mind you, these are the same guys who pal around with a guy who thought that a joke with Evil Uno that we all heard on the playground in 10th, in 6th grade. I'm sorry. It's like he thought that joke would be funny to an adult audience. Well, it's over with the adult audience that's legal in AEW, but not with anybody else. I'm pretty sure 15-year-olds wouldn't have found that joke funny.
Yeah.
But no. So my question to you is Josh and JR had quite the job with New Japan.
Yes, they did.
Because that was going through a period where New Japan seemed like two different shows. You saw Kenny with Okada, that was one thing. You saw the old school stuff, you saw the new school stuff. You had Bullet Club, which seemed more new school.
Yeah.
You had the old school stuff where there was chaos and all the other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously Suzuki Gun.
Oh, of course. Or Minoru Suzuki just beating up people because he fucking could.
Yes.
They let him beat up the crowd, he'd do it.
What are your thoughts on Josh just looking at them and saying, look, we did what we were supposed to. Also, by the way, Josh also pointed out, my job as a commentator is to help you make you look good.
Yes.
So when you were doing your 17 Meltzer drivers and they were kicking out of 16 of them, I had to sit there and say, well, if you look at the video there, JR, he didn't get all of it or he kind of slipped in the top row. So Josh was trying to, Josh and JR had to come up with so much extra crap to cover for these Bucks.
Yes, they did.
Because they hit so many moves that just went nowhere.
They hit the same fucking moves usually. Listen, man. Good. I'm glad he didn't say anything negative.
Okay.
I was expecting you to say like Josh was going to be like, the Bucks are the greatest thing of all time, and I was going to be like, damn it, Josh, you just had to go put your foot in your mouth again, and I like Josh a lot. But
Josh,
I actually got to meet Josh at a PWG show back in 2011 when he was still an MMA fighter.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Really cool guy.
Josh, once again, like McAfee, came off as, holy shit, you actually know what you're supposed to be doing.
Because they actually have an appreciation for pro wrestling. listen, because Josh and JR used to cover for them a lot. Now, JR went to a part because he was originally going to be their full-time English commentator.
Yeah.
Which I would have preferred.
Yeah.
Instead of him doing AEW. But, it's fine. He didn't really want to live in Japan. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's, living in Japan it's a whole different world.
Especially, well, not to mention that for you, it would have been different because you came from New York.
Yeah.
Tokyo's very much like that.
Yeah.
For me, I think I could have survived only because I don't come from Middle America. I come from Minnesota, which is not Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's not Middle America, folks.
It's small. He's small town Middle America, but hang in the big
yeah.
cities.
So
but he decided not to do it full time.
A fish out of water, right there.
So they got a really good guy, Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly, thank you.
Kevin Kelly,
formerly of WWE, of course.
Yeah.
Who does a great job.
Yeah.
Just a straight guy for New Japan for English. But they cover. By the way, not just the Bucks. So as great as and Cody had some good matches in New Japan, he also botched a lot. And people don't realize they covered for his ass on commentary a lot, which is probably why Cody made sure that Tony paid JR all that fucking money to come to AEW. Because JR can do a good job of covering for terrible wrestlers. It's just, I think in AEW, he just gave the fuck up very early on.
Well, but the fact of the matter is, is that we're sitting here and we're not understanding that, ladies and gentlemen, this is why the Bucks, A, get their referee. This is why, B, they're not going to wrestle.
It doesn't matter who's the referee. They embarrass all of them. It doesn't matter.
But this is why.
There's never any freaking rules in a Young Bucks match.
Well, but
I know.
Well, but this is why they have Rick Knox. This is why they won't bring in Contra. This is why they won't bring in the Briscoe brothers. This is why they won't wrestle FTR on FTR's terms. This is why they won't do it, because they get exposed. Because they're not wrestling, they're cosplay wrestling.
I'll tell you what they are. You want to know what they are? They're sports entertainment. Ooh, that's a dirty word for pro wrestling fans, especially AEW marks. They are sports entertainment, which is fine. Vince has put his whole business persona around sports entertainment.
Yeah.
But why has he succeeded? Because he has excellent professional wrestlers. I get Joey Sykes' promo, or Joey Styles' promo way back in the day. He had every right to feel that way. But it was never like Vince didn't let them go out there and still have a great wrestling match. He just told them, tell a story with it. That's it. So, but the Young Bucks are sports entertainers. That's what they are. They actually belong in WWE, except they would be treated like the clowns that they are.
Well, they would be a tag team to put over other tag teams.
I mean,
they
listen,
might get the belts once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. They would be Miz and Morrison without the clout.
Yeah,
that's what they would be. A comedy act that maybe gets some belts every now and then.
Without the clout, the talent, the ability to speak.
So as they say, you got Miz and Morrison, you get them Amazon, you get the Young Bucks if you get
Wish.
From Wish.
Yeah.
They're not even Wish. They're the dude who sells shrimp out of the back of his truck.
They're the dirty like black market site that you probably shouldn't order from. They are sports entertainment.
The one with the turtle that steals all your information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're sports entertainment. That's what they are. But they try to put themselves out there as the best tag team wrestlers. No, you're not.
Not even close.
You've been carried by better tag teams, so your best matches is because you went against the Hardys. Well, they're just excellent wrestlers. Yes, they worked for Vince for years, but you keep acting. It's still called World Wrestling Entertainment. Wrestling is in the damn business name.
Vince is just the guy who realizes the only way he's going to make money off it, real money, is he has to be entertaining.
Yes. So he
That's
adopted
that New York crowd.
The
That's
sports it's all northeastern in his logic. It's something I'm very unnew to it. And for some reason people think he called wrestling a dirty word. No, he didn't. People take like what Paul Heyman said back in 2005 and twist it. He never said wrestling was a dirty word. He just understood wrestlers need to actually be storytellers for us to make real money.
I really hate to say this because again, we all love all kinds of wrestling, old school, musical stuff. I hate to say it, folks, but the Ultimate Warrior is more known in more households than the Midnight Express.
Yes.
Bobby Eaton, as great a worker as Bobby was, you mentioned Bobby Eaton's name, and half a room's not going to know it. You mentioned the Ultimate Warrior, probably 75% of the room is going to know it.
Yeah.
So Vince got over more what he was trying to do than what everyone else does. Just because it pissed off the old heads doesn't mean it was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
You can hate whatever you want, folks, but don't sit here and act like it's not successful. I hate to tell all these haters out there, but Black Widow, as great of a movie as that probably is, I'm going to see it now that I can go see it for free.
I'm about to say I'll be seeing it on Tuesday.
I can go for free now, so I can go see it.
Eventually, I'm going to go see it. I don't know exactly when I'm going to go.
But here's the deal. As good as Black Widow
you
was...
let me know about free. I know your wife runs shit down there.
You can't get in for free, but I can get you in for $1. All
right.
Anyway.
Yes, you can get some discount tickets, which is great.
But here's the deal.
And then buy some popcorn down there.
You bet.
But here's the deal. As great as Black Widow was, to all the haters out there, I hate to tell you this, over the weekend, the best box office that even beat Black Widow was Space Jam 2. You might not like it. I don't care if you don't like it, but here's the deal. I'm that guy who says to all the kids, get off the Pokemon Go servers, this is my shit. But it's still for kids.
Yes, it is.
And I admit this.
Yes.
Space Jam is not written for 30-year-old
people.
No,
it's not.
Even though they're the ones who watch Space Jam.
And by the way, I actually watched it because it's on HBO Max as well.
Yeah.
It's a fine little movie, but yeah, it's clearly for kids. Like it's a fun. I had some laughs with it.
Yeah.
But it's entertainment for children. If you went into it thinking you were going to get something with some depth, you're the idiot.
But if we can, but by the way, can I also say something?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. I hate to say this. If we go back and take off the rose-colored glasses, so was Space Jam 1.
Space Jam 1 was fucking horrible, people.
I actually loved it, but
Michael Jordan is just I'll give LeBron credit. At least he probably went to acting classes because he clearly tried.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan did not try. He was just dull the whole movie. But my baby nostalgia, because of course I came out in '96, I was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
My baby nostalgia still likes the movie, but yeah, I've watched it as an adult. I'm like, wow, no, this was terrible.
I watch it because I love the Looney Tunes. That's it. I didn't watch it for Michael Jordan.
The same reason. There was Bugs in the Crew. I love Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I grew up on that with my dad.
Yeah.
So I loved it for that.
Yeah.
But again, going back to this, Vince is making wrestling for the people that are going to give him money.
Yes.
And so is LeBron, and I ain't mad at you for it.
Yes.
Take my money.
Right.
Because that's what I'm paying for.
Like I'm here. I'm here. We're here to be entertaining. And
to be entertained.
And we want to go to these wrestling shows to be entertained. So all he did was say, listen, I can get behind my wrestlers having a great wrestling match. That's great. But the crowd also needs to be into it. Because if they're bored, guess what? They're probably not going to come back, and we're not going to make as much money. Like, Vince doesn't have all these TV contracts now without all the stuff he did 25 to 30 years prior.
Yes.
Like, understanding, like, listen, this has to be an entertainment. Listen, I always tell people, WCW could have won.
Yeah.
They could have won
if
they had more competent people running it outside of Eric Bischoff. That was the only problem. He was the only probably really competent person helping to run it.
And I hate to say it, but Eric Bischoff's more sports entertainer than wrestler.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, the only real competition Vince has ever had was entertainment based.
Yes.
Sadly, everyone's like, well, AEW is entertainment based. I'm like, yeah, but it's shit. It's actually bad.
No. They're sports based. Remember, that's
I can't even joke about that anymore.
That's what they said.
They're so far from it, I can't even joke about it.
They are.
Oh.
Yes, they had a coffin match, but it was a sports based coffin match. They competed to bury each other.
Is casket actually patented by Vince? Can they not use?
I don't know.
I understand the coffin drop is his move, but can they not use casket match?
I don't know. I don't even care anymore. I think they probably can, but what they do is they do anything to be different from Vince, and it's freaking stupid. So I got into an argument on a web page on Facebook that's for wrestlers, for wrestling fans, I should say, because All Elite Wrestling News, whatever, Marks, put out this thing talking about Vince being worried about his future sales and all that. Oh, Houston did well because blah, 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 blah. And like this one guy was just like, man, it was good to see the old man suffer. I'm like, suffer? He looks like he's having fun. You want to know why he looks like he's having fun? Because he's understood the last 15 years to just appreciate everything he's built. And most wrestling fans can still appreciate him. I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm like, you guys, this certain toxic fan base that everything that Vince does is wrong and he's evil and this and that. You wouldn't even be a wrestling fan without him.
How many times have I said that on the show? I'm not trying to take credit for what you're saying.
No, it's just true. It's just true.
They still watch it.
Yes.
Well,
in his case, he said he just watches AEW, which I can't believe.
He's full of shit.
Yeah.
It's a fly.
But yeah, it's one of those things where what don't you get? Like without Vince, you don't even watch pro wrestling.
No.
How many people were like, well, I didn't really watch WWF. I watched WCW. Well, guess what? They changed their game because Vince eventually changed his game to their game. Like it's competition. It's all entertainment based. They understood that back then before Vince Russo fucked it all up. And Vince just competed with that, and he won the competition. That's it, because Vince Russo is incompetent. But
apparently, according to Mr. Russo, a WWE Hall of Fame call is apparently coming in the next century.
He will never get one.
In the next century,
it's not coming to his family when he's dead. It's not coming to. I don't even know if he has kids. I hope not, because I would feel so bad.
I believe
for
he
them.
does actually have a couple of kids.
Poor kids. Your dad's the classic ass clown of all times. But it's if not for Vince McMahon, those of us and listen, I learned to accept this in 2011. If not for Vince, I wouldn't even care about pro wrestling.
No.
My uncles would have never taken me because they all, of course, grew up in the Northeast.
Yep.
So they watched WWF and a couple of the others from the Northeast. Now, my other uncle used to watch a couple of the ones from the South because they used to kind of hook up the satellite and try to cheat their way into fuzzy watching television from all over. But they cheated to do it. So, hooking up a satellite to try to get the signal from the South and stuff.
I'm glad I didn't have to cheat because I just turned on the ratio and boom, I got Gandhi with,
Well, but you were watching the AWA back then.
I wasn't AWA and Vern Gagne when, Hogan, Flair, Andre, were all younger and stuff. I didn't have to. I turned the TV on. I was like, there it was.
In New York, apparently you couldn't get the channels, my uncle was saying. So, you kind of had to, cheat to get the channels.
It happens nowadays, too.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, and I'm like, listen, everyone wants to be so mad at him, but this is a great time for you to be a wrestling fan. Okay, you don't like WWE. You really, I hate both. I'm a New Japan stan or whatever. By the way, those people in New Japan has already said they don't even like his fans. Because you live in a time where there is so much wrestling you could consume. We talked about it earlier. MAW, a local promotion here that we love dearly, had a show that they also put up on YouTube, and I watched it, and it was beautiful to watch. Yes, I had to wait a couple of days, but I'm happy that they put it up.
Yeah.
They did put ours up?
Yeah, they did.
I believe that,
yeah, they did put the show up.
I was looking for it.
Yeah.
Beat Down in Bobsville is on there.
Yep, it's on there. Yep.
People were not believing me that I played security.
Yeah, so they put up their show.
Funny, yeah.
I'm sure Heavy on Wrestling is going to try to put up what they can from Rockfest, whatever they legally can, since there was a lot of big bands there as well.
Yeah.
But you can go find some wrestling that you can enjoy. We live in a beautiful time for wrestling fans, and all you do is get on the internet and talk about how much you hate Vince. Really? Yes, we get on AEW, but I get on AEW because I actually want them to do better.
Same.
And I know they have the potential to do better.
Yeah.
If Cody yells at a couple of idiots. Otherwise...
But okay. But let's establish something here. Cody Rhodes grew up the son of the son of a plumber. The grandson of a plumber.
Yes.
He grew up with one of the greatest minds in the history of the business. A guy who took polka dots and made him famous.
He's just a common man.
The most famous polka dots ever.
That's it, man. He's a common man.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the deal. The Bucks keep proving every week that they've never been wrestlers. They don't know what wrestling is. And at the end of the day, and I'm not mad at them for this, this is all a money grab. All it is.
And that's fine.
And this goes back to Josh's comments. They want to sell their merch. Nobody buys the merch of the heels that often.
Yeah.
Once in a while at an MIW show, the heels will sell a T-shirt, but then they'll just write "You suck" on the back. Anyway,
there you go.
Which I've seen happen.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just it. The fact is this is a money grab for them.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even and I have to talk about it because they're the biggest thing in wrestling in the sense that they are the most decisive thing in wrestling. You either love them or you straight up can't stand them.
Yeah, but I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
There is no middle ground with the Young Bucks.
No.
But here's the deal, folks. These guys have proven they are not wrestlers. I started eating that when I got in here.
There we go.
I'm surprised I didn't go look for some Haitian Heat hot sauce, which we're, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are still sponsored by Haitian Heat hot sauce, one of the best hot sauces you will ever come across.
Oh, yeah.
Any heat level for all people who love hot sauce, and even if you don't, gives you a little nice flavor. But But by the way, also at the DPW show coming up, I'll be talking with Al sometime this week about getting that table set up.
Yes.
If you're in the area, come on down. And also, Al, as soon as Al is ready to ship that out nationwide, worldwide, we will have that information for you.
They are working on it. They are working on it.
Yep. But anyway, back to the Bucks.
And if you make it to the show, you can meet us too.
Exactly.
There we go.
Also, here's the deal. They won't wrestle the Briscoes. Because the Briscoes will outclass them on their worst day.
I'm about to say, because the Briscoes will embarrass them.
And I'm talking about the old Briscoes that are currently hobbled, that are currently 70 and 80 years old. Like Terry Funk in his current state would outclass you boys, okay? Let's just put it that way.
By the way,
so
hopefully you're doing all right out there, Terry. That was kind of some sad news to hear in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but I saw that, and then he came out saying, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
He's living somewhere to get some assistance because his knees and everything.
Yeah.
But physically, whatever, he's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, thanks for all the publicity.
Yeah. But it's just here's the deal.
Love that guy. Man. He gave so much to this business.
They don't know what they're doing. And the other problem is that look, another reason why maybe I was a bit of a fan from the beginning was they actually wanted to bring back tag team wrestling because they've never really broken up. Remember, Matt and Jeff got more famous separately than they ever were together.
Yeah, they probably
and they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yes,
but my point is this. What more and more people keep learning is this is a money grab. It's make as much money and then get out.
Oh, yeah.
Because, guys, you won't wrestle the big teams. You won't wrestle the major things. What about FTR? First of all, I am not going to explain for the 80th time on this show why that was so fucked up that it was not worth my goddamn cable bill. But the fact of the matter is that you won't bring in the Briscoes, which, by the way, you don't have to buy them from Ring of Honor. You can rent them from Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But they're probably more pissed at you than anybody else because you fucked them over at the Madison Square Garden show. So they're probably like, screw this idea. Because here's the deal. As we learned, and we were going to talk about it on the show, the chicken fight, which was great, loved it, absolutely loved it.
After listening to Cornette, I did when I got home afterwards. I did watch the chicken fight. Oh my god, I love their dad.
Next week,
oh my god,
I
love it.
Next week, we're going to review the chicken fight.
All right.
Write that down. Next week.
Are we going to play honor to somebody next week too?
Paul Orndorff.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know we didn't get it set up for today.
All three of us were not here.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to make sure we go into that.
And guys, we're definitely getting into Paul Orndorff next week.
Yes. But here's the deal. This is a money grab, and I'm going to keep saying it as many times until people get it through their skulls.
Yeah.
This is a money grab. This is not about expanding wrestling. This is not about putting wrestling back on the map. This is, we're going to show up, we're going to get as much money as we can, we're going to leave, and for some strange reason, we're going to have the tiniest, most fragile egos in the world while we do it. These guys have an ego the size of Texas, but it's as small as a freaking pea. These guys, I wouldn't be surprised if they've listened to us. Because if their name's out there, they'll find it.
Have we tagged them on anything for
You know what? We'll tag them as soon as you release the show. I'll tag them on YouTube.
Oh, shit. We got to tag them a couple times.
I'm all down.
As a matter of fact.
See if them bitches actually listen to us.
I'm pretty sure Matt Jackson hasn't unfollowed me, so maybe.
Ooh.
Just tag Matty there and say,
yeah,
hey, Matt.
I got a little wrestling podcast of mine you should listen to.
Our shit.
Yeah. But anyway, folks, this is my point. Josh Barnett did what any good commentator would do.
Yeah.
And that's try to make a sports-based presentation out of it.
Because actually New Japan does sports-based presentations.
There we go.
Josh Barnett understands what the Bucks understand but don't care about. But they get their referee because Rick Knox will let him do fucking murder, and he won't ring the bell.
Yeah, no.
He won't. There's no 10 count. There's no 20 count.
No.
There's no 30. There is no rules in a Young Bucks match.
No.
This is...
No, there's one rule.
The Bucks win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do whatever they want.
I don't know what else to say about these guys. We're going to have to keep talking about it.
I just don't understand. It maybe it's finally changing now. It feels like there's, like I said, online it feels like there's a shift even within their fan base.
Yeah.
Because within this whole new heel run, they've also buried one of the best Turkish wrestlers of all time in Michael Nakazawa. He's just a gopher. That's all he is.
He ain't even a gopher.
Like, he probably wipes their ass after they poop. Like, he's nothing now.
Yeah.
But this is a guy that they said, though, they were bringing the AEW because if they didn't create this company with Tony and Cody, that he's a guy that they felt would never get a chance. Brandon Cutler came out of retirement to come to this company because he was told you'll be given a chance to show your wrestling stuff on national television. And now they're both gophers. They're whores. Yeah. That's what they are. They're whores for the Young Bucks. Yeah. In character-wise, kayfabe.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, it feels like it's starting to turn because it's like, how do you defend that? Like they said all this stuff out loud when they were starting the company, including all the shots they've taken at WWE. And even their own fans are finally like, dude, stop taking the shots. It's pretty egregious.
I don't care what anyone.
They don't even say anything back. Barely. They don't care.
I don't care what anyone says.
Though what they did with the Britt Baker thing, while it was petty, I thought that shit was funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They got to do a couple shots here and there.
That was petty, but that was funny.
You got to take a shot now and then to remind people, no, we are still here.
We are still the kings of this country.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. But no.
You take a shot across the bow with a howitzer.
It's just we can't stop talking about you because you're still here. And because, sadly, you are just splashed over this god-awful wrestling show. But the fact of the matter is this. This tag team are two guys. They're in it for the paychecks.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
Just be honest about it.
But stop acting like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, because I'm pretty sure Betty White could still kick your ass.
Probably. It's If you were just honest, hey man, we
want
got
my
into
respect,
pro
boys?
wrestling.
I don't even care if you pay them to come in and lose. I don't care if you pay them more than their whole family would ever make in the rest of their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, stop being a bunch of puss bags and go talk to the Briscoes about a real match.
They're not going to do it.
See what happens when the baddest tag team in the world walks in your door and says, "Oh, we ain't doing this stupid spot shit."
So this thing with Jay White showing up is interesting. They didn't even want the match against God. You might not have a choice now. You can't do your same moves because God will just embarrass you because they're just better wrestlers.
Well, God is going to outclass him from the moment. From the moment you hear,
ain't nobody realer than Gorilla.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody realer than Gorilla.
The second you hear that, they're already outclassed. They're done. No one's going to give a damn. It'd be the biggest main event squash you've ever seen in your life. Because, yeah, he's a little bit older, and that might have killed his singles run, but Tama ain't done running through that tag division. He ain't done running through that tag division.
Not even close. Yeah, man.
We're going to have to also kind of chronicle for the fans Roman Reigns going from just being kind of the baby face of the family to now he is bigger than Tama.
Oh yeah.
He is the standard bearer in that family.
No, well, here's the thing. If they are forced to wrestle
God
on an AEW pay-per-view, that will be the first time you will see how their fans really feel about them. Because their fans don't love them more than they love God. I can promise you that. They're the original Rebel tag team.
Write this down, Leroy. Next week, I want to chronicle, and Jesse, this is going to be a big thing for you.
Okay.
Well, we're going to chronicle, because Jesse said it earlier, he was an indie elitist about what, 2011, 2010?
2011, yeah.
Okay. We're going to chronicle what it meant to be an indie fan.
Okay.
And now, because of AEW, being an indie elitist really doesn't make you that cool anymore.
No, it actually makes you very hateable.
Yes.
Very hateable.
And we're going to explain that. And here's the deal. We're all indie marks. Not going to say we're not.
Yeah.
Not going to deny that. But I want to explain that it back when NXT wasn't on USA and it was still on the network and it was at its peak with those guys, Finn was over, all the Samoa Joe was over. There was a time in wrestling, and again, we'll go over it next week.
Yep.
When to be a fan of the indies actually meant something. Now it's literally just hating to be a hater.
And a lot of the AEW marks, it's hating WWE just to hate WWE.
And we'll go into that next week, so we're not going to do too much else with that. Right. We're actually going to finish up today. A bunch of stuff on here that we are going to save for next week until more stuff develops. But anyway, here's the deal. Tonight, we have
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Gentlemen.
I actually have the card, unless you want to go with the card.
I did print out the card.
You did print out the card.
First and foremost, for Jesse especially, ladies and gentlemen, happy 52nd birthday to Masawa Nori Murakawa, better known to wrestling fans as Jesse.
I'll let you guys say it. I come off as the biggest mark in the world if I say it.
Come on now. Say it. Come on. We're waiting for you.
I did this for you when I saw
that.
Yeah. Come on. Now you have to, Jesse. He didn't even think he was going to leave until 4 or be here by 6. He shouldn't even be on the show.
That's true.
So I honestly didn't think I was going to leave there till 4, but we got to leave early.
Come on,
actually, I did forget his first name though. But the great Sasuke. The legend, the man, the dude. So, just real quick note before we get into Money in the Bank.
Yep.
He just won All Japan Pro Wrestling's Heavyweight Championship. And actually, sorry, he lost it after winning it earlier this year from guess who? Another Japanese great that you all know as the Great Muta. And for these two, one of course in his 60s, the other who just turned. Well, by the way, I thought he was 56.
He's only 52.
They had
4 years, that man.
Banger of a match. I mean, they were tearing each other apart. By the way,
believe it. Recent news: Muta has been told by doctors to no longer do the moonsault. He doesn't need it. Muta won't need it to retire it.
So fans were asking him like, man, you don't really do it anymore, and he was like, well, have you watched me in all AJPW? He does not need it.
No. And also double knee surgery. We don't need it. Yeah.
Listen, he's just turned himself into a physical wrestler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, listen, it's watching him still go at this age. It was like when the Undertaker was having that match with Shawn Michaels, and then it dawns on you. Undertaker was 51, dude.
Yes.
Undertaker was 51 at the time.
But again, unlike half the AEW roster who have been in the business for 10 years, 15 years, I wrestled him in Dusseldorf 15 years ago. Here's the deal. They adjust their styles to the age, and they learn how to get better at making you think more.
Yeah, for sure.
They can't do it all, but they make you think more.
They entertain you with great story-based wrestling.
We have a stacked card.
Before we get started.
And bad part is I did not see who the last entrant for the women's because I didn't watch SmackDown.
Tamina.
Tamina?
They just inserted Tamina in 2 weeks ago.
All right. Okay, good.
She didn't actually qualify. They just put her in there.
Well, that was half the SmackDown people. That was all the SmackDown people.
At that point, that was all the SmackDown women's roster.
Sonya Deville just said, hey, you're going to be in it. Yeah, that's what she did.
But before we get into it, Becky Lynch is backstage at this show.
She is.
So, yes, they have not confirmed, but it is a possibility.
So she took a picture. I'm on Twitter. She took a picture.
Did. Yes.
Now, yes, with her husband, but she took a picture. Yes. So she's there. Does she come out and beat up Charlotte Flair tonight?
It'd be the perfect chance.
If you had to take a bet over, let's say 30%, who takes the over?
I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
Ooh.
You want to take the over?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, just for some reason.
What if I lose him to this bet?
I'll break the tie. I'm going to actually take the over.
All right.
Okay. All right.
I think she's going to come back tonight.
And by the way, some news here. Reportedly from Gene himself, or at least from what we've been watching, Dana Brooke has been removed from competition, and Mandy Rose is now back on NXT. Dana Brooke reportedly is pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't know if that's what her picture meant, but she posted a picture that said 1 week in. So,
well, if that is true,
congratulations,
and that's one lucky guy.
Well, I thought she was with Dave Bautista, but maybe she's not anymore.
No. She just got engaged to another guy. I can't remember who it was. So, reportedly...
That should have been Dave's, baby. Have another animal in 18 years.
But yes,
things change all the time.
But no, that might also be why they just randomly
You know what, though, to be fair, Dana Brooke's my age. So, like, a lot of these female wrestlers having their babies and stuff, they're about my age. I don't like, because some people were like, man, I don't remember women wrestlers having this many kids early. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I think it's fair if they want to, because Lady Luck, of course, recently got engaged.
Yes.
If she decided to have a child, I have no problem. She's about Zach's age. Like,
yeah.
Your kid, of course, usually graduates when they're 18.
Yep.
Do you really want to be there, like the 50-year-old mother of one child, like 50-year-old father of one child? Like, I don't know.
Well, Becky and Seth will be older parents, but I mean, like, again, nothing.
I'm one of them too.
I mean, you're one of them, but you know.
Yeah.
You also have some other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you're a damn good dad.
So, tonight,
Thank you, appreciate it.
So,
all right.
If it is indeed true, it's mostly on Reddit, but Reddit's broken a lot of things in the past.
If it's true, congrats to you. Seriously.
Yes. All right. So tonight we have the WWE Raw Tag Team Title match.
Actually,
AJ Styles
the kickoff match will be the Mysterios and the Usos.
Yes,
that's what I did read. They're going to be the kickoff match.
But
I actually think the Usos are going to take these championships off of them.
I think so too.
In the actual card, AJ Styles and Omos will defend against the Viking Raiders.
They're going to beat the Viking Raiders, probably.
Either way, good to see the Viking Raiders back.
Yes.
Good to see them back doing what they do, which is a good version of comedy and wrestling.
Yeah.
Though that weird thing they did Monday night, I don't get, because they had the bigger one of the Viking Raiders, Ivar, beat AJ, which, by the way, monstrous ass upset.
Yes.
But then I mean, almost annihilated Eric.
Once again,
so I'm okay.
how a big man is supposed to work.
True.
That is
but
true,
I'm just like, well, what does this mean for the card? Because, I mean, he beat the hell out of him.
Right. All right. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, I'm hoping it's the last match in this situation.
One of them is getting cashed in on tonight.
Possibly, yes. It's a good possibility.
You know what? I've come to this conclusion, and I'm not going to bury either one of them. We're not going to use Raw against them. They just don't work together.
Maybe not.
And here's the deal.
I thought they did, because
no. Hold on.
The NXT Championship one was pretty good.
It worked at WrestleMania because that was kind of thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
But in a long situation, in a long scenario like this, there's just not a lot there.
Well, and it's just the story they've been telling.
And they're both heels.
Like, they're trying to say Rhea is a babyface, but it just doesn't feel like it. I'm with you. Whatever happens, because now there's a thought Alexa Bliss might actually get this and then cash in on one of them tonight, which is fine.
Which would be fine with
That would actually make a more interesting story for the Women's Championship at this point.
But no. Their match
the Raw Women's Championship.
Their match at WrestleMania was a sort of to me, that's a lightning in a bottle situation. You ain't gonna capture that again.
Probably not.
I think it was a one-time, one-off thing. Together, and again, Charlotte is at a different point in her life Rhea's at a different point. I mean, it's just whatever it is now.
I am very
and
2004. 2003, 2004 Triple H on Charlotte right now. Like I'm just at a point where I'm like, I don't even care what you do anymore, dude. Just take the championship, go on a horrific run that I won't care about, so I can be done with this with you. And maybe you'll take some time. You and Andre could go on some vacations, have some beautiful, flair, wrestling babies that I'll see when I'm 60. Like, oh my God, I remember your mother.
Right.
And because right now I just don't give a shit with Charlotte Flair. I just don't.
All right, yeah.
The women's Money in the Bank match. Asuka, Naomi, Nikki Ash, who has actually really grown on me in a while.
Almost a superhero.
Naomi, Liv Morgan, Selena Vega, Natalya, and Tamina.
My heart wants it to be Liv. My head's telling me it's probably going to be Alexa Bliss.
Even though I saw somebody put out there that Selena Vega might win it too.
I don't think there's a
I
chance.
don't see
there's not a chance in hell. But I will say this. Them bringing her back helps because they need a certified heel now that
it's
Bayley's
interesting
gone.
that Jesse says one of these two is getting cashed in on tonight, going back to Rhea and Charlotte. What if, and hear me out now, what if this match goes on before Rhea and Charlotte, as you've predicted?
Mm-hmm.
Asuka wins, cashes in, and then at the same place that it was all revealed a year ago, Becky returns then. Because remember, I did say they were giving the belt to Asuka, and somehow it's going to be Asuka versus Becky when Becky comes back. Ladies and gentlemen.
Becky's technically there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there.
You want long-term storytelling with apparently a small human being in the middle.
What a baby. What a baby.
What a baby.
What a baby.
A healthy baby, by the way.
Well, because her husband's not winning tonight, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
Healthy, beautiful baby. Oh,
beautiful baby.
For the Universal title, Reigns, Edge, I love the story. It's an interesting wrinkle that Jesse threw in that because of that pop, Vince might change on the fly.
I think he might change his mind.
But I do think they do have WrestleMania or SummerSlam plans in concrete. It's going to be Seth. It's going to be
Only
Edge.
thing that worries me about the whole SummerSlam thing now is Cena's filming a show, which technically that show won't be done filming until the night of SummerSlam.
You will see.
How in the hell? By the way, that show is being filmed in Canada.
Yep.
Only a couple hours north of us.
Yep.
How in the hell is he going to make it to Friday Night SmackDowns to build that program? By the way, he's also teased he wouldn't even come back as the normal Cena because, of course, of what happened with The Fiend.
Yes.
So...
Well, he's got hair now.
Then he also got his ass in trouble because of his China comments, or non-comments in his case.
According to SmackDown sign guy, Cena hates freedom.
Yep.
When I saw that sign, I'm like, did anybody else notice that?
I just laughed
Yeah.
because I'm like, this is the guy who used to. If it wasn't for the Undertaker back in 2001, I would think John Cena had an American flag around him the whole damn time when he was around. But yeah, I listen. And the reason I feel this way, why would they take it off of him? And even though technically it should be Seth versus Edge,
yeah.
Because now if Cena's not coming back, well, now you have a reason for Roman to be a part of that and to take that title right back.
Exactly.
So it's
definitely true.
It's not the worst thing.
Yep.
But I will say there's a high chance basically Seth costs
a
Edge's match.
A match that call me crazy. I don't know the ending of. Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE title. I really don't know. I honestly have no idea.
I could tell you the ending. Bobby's gonna whoop his ass tonight. This is not gonna. This will be better than the Lesnar thing because he lost in 5 seconds, but it's not gonna be pretty.
No.
Bobby's gonna whoop his ass tonight, regardless of the rumors about Goldberg. Which actually I don't even think he's advertised the return on Raw.
Yeah.
At the city that they're going to.
Yeah.
But people are assuming that he's advertised to come back and face Bobby. There's a chance he's advertised because guess who's also advertised for Raw tomorrow? A certain guy who wears red and black that I've missed very dearly called Bray Wyatt. So there is a chance they're going to let Bray finish this from what they accidentally started at that terrible last show in Saudi Arabia where he shouldn't even have lost his damn championship to Goldberg for a match that he couldn't even have with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
Like I said, I got a 70% on it'll start as a good match, and then Bobby's gonna tear him apart.
Okay. And then finally, probably not the main event, but finally the match that this is for, or the pay-per-view, the Money in the Bank, Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, King Nakamura, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins.
My heart, and I think, and I've seen this on everyone who's going to that show tonight. Their heart is hoping that it's Ricochet that can grab that briefcase, just to see him have.
What I like about this match is outside of Drew, and in my opinion, Seth.
Anybody could technically win it outside of those two.
Well, no. Here's my thing. If either one of them win it, I think because of where they've been built, because of who they are, because of what's happened, as much as you may have not liked Raw building up to the last couple of months, or month, I should say, Drew's in a very unique spot, so I think it would be compelling television.
But go ahead.
Yeah, Seth winning, it's Seth. He's a goddamn evil genius with that thing.
Oh, yes.
Now, anyone else wins? All right.
So here's why I don't think Seth or Drew is going to win.
Yeah.
I think Drew, for some reason, will be accosted this match because of his now current feud with Jinder Mahal.
Yes.
Which is fine. They're rebuilding Jinder. No problem.
Which, by the way, folks.
That's a heel, by the way.
Folks, by the way, which Jesse did say was happening on main event.
Main event.
Being used better than Dark and Elevation.
Yeah, way better. Because at least WWE is like, we like that. Bring that up.
Yeah.
Dark and Elevation is just like, oh, we didn't even know that existed. And then Seth.
We have 2 other shows.
And then Seth, in Seth's case, I think he's going to cost himself.
Yes.
Thinking about Edge.
Yes.
I think he's going to cost himself because he's thinking about Edge.
Yeah, probably.
So,
boy, did those two tell a story in a short promo on SmackDown.
Well, so the last 3 weeks they've been hearkening back to what happened in 2014, and I'm like, damn, if this isn't a great long-term in a sense storytelling, calling back to 7 years ago.
Yeah.
In that case, that's why I'm like, I almost eliminate those two.
Yeah.
My heart. I know people thought my heart would say Big E. My heart says Ricochet, but my head says Big E.
Yeah.
Because it only makes sense.
Well, I'm looking at that too. Is if somebody from Raw wins the women's, somebody from SmackDown is going to get the men, and vice versa. If
to have both on the same show really doesn't make a lot of sense.
If somebody from SmackDown wins the women's, it'll Raw
the
men's.
It only makes sense because they have done it twice before. It only makes sense if the winner cashes in the same night.
Yes.
Then it makes sense because then the other person's going to hold it for a while anyway.
Yeah. Then if that happens, it really doesn't matter. Because the men's probably is going to be the second one. The women's is going to be on first.
Yeah.
Let me just
I actually think the women's will actually open the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It could be.
Okay, that's fair. Let me just say this.
To get the crowd hot.
If King Nakamura wins this, though...
Oh, I'll lose my shit.
Pat McAfee...
And then Pat McAfee's going to make me have a heart attack.
Pat McAfee and Boogs, there'll be no living with it.
I am looking forward to seeing Boogs come out with a live audience in that.
Oh, dude. Oh, man,
God.
you got to watch SmackDown. They actually did pop for King Nakamura.
They did.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that.
But everyone
pop at home for him.
There was a Boogs chant for Boogs.
Oh, sweet. My little 6-year-old girl pops for Nakamura when he comes out and does that song.
I got to be honest.
On the guitar.
At least they found something for him.
Yes.
He wasn't going to do anything in NXT anymore. I don't think Triple H knew what to do with him.
Right.
Because while he's built like a guy, basically Elias is kind of built the same way, where it's like, it's this thick dude you would think could put on a great match, but you're like, not really.
Yeah.
But Boogs is incredibly entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually like that on SmackDown. They've given us something to do.
Yes.
Even if at some point
Definitely.
Corbin whoops his ass just because he's always talking mess nowadays.
So, Leroy, thank you for letting us into your home when you weren't here.
Thank you.
I know.
We promise everything is where it was when we got here.
Yes.
It looked like that when I came in, so we're all right.
Jesse, it was a pleasure hanging out with you for a half hour, making that work out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Money in the Bank. We will see you guys all next week. We got a lot to talk about next week. We got a lot to go over. And yes, next week, Leroy and I will give a little bit more on the Bobsville show, which was a good time.
Yes, because we got more shows coming up.
Yes, we do. We got more coming up.
And August 15th.
Yep.
August 22nd.
And there's some in the fall. Which you're coming to the one with Mark Henry and Kelly Kelly.
Yes, I will be there.
Okay, good.
Oh, we definitely. I have to meet the fourth member of the Nation of Domination.
The original
Nation of Domination. And say, hey, boys, out in Philly, look who I got to see now. I got all four. I'm very proud of myself there.
Yep.
It's a unique one.
So, anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you guys next week. And please enjoy tonight's show. It's always a very fun show.
Enjoy, guys.